What are we talking about?
Yo, you tuned in to Guerilla Cross Radio.
Ma chère mademoiselle, it is with deepest pride and greatest pleasure that we welcome you tonight.
What kind of place is this?
I have a very good brain, and I've said a lot of things.
Oh, no, what's going on?
I stand upon my desk to remind myself that we must constantly look at things in a different way.
You have my curiosity.
For one, I don't think he knows what he's talking about.
Now you have my attention.
You're here. I'm here. Let's do this.
Get on with it. All right, let's get on with it.
Yes. Let's get on with it. What's going on, everybody? I'm James Mace.
I'm Brittany Soul.
And I am T'Angelo.
High breath applause. And welcome to another week. It's Hump Day.
Hey.
I kind of like that when we did
Guess
that
what
last
day
week.
it is?
Guess what day it is? We did the little Hump Day joint that happened last week. It's Wednesday. And we're back for the Our Perspective podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
We're on Guerilla Cross. If you guys got the app, download it. It's free. It's free like free.
Is it all the way free or like there's a catch? Or?
You know how they say free 99? It's like
Right.
minus that 99 cents.
Okay.
It's still free.
Let's do it.
But
and do you
can
spell gorilla like the?
Not a gorilla like G-O, but Guerilla. Cross.
All right.
Got it? But yeah, you can find it at any of your app stores. Definitely check us out on there. We're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. A little bit behind today, but whatever the case is. We have a special guest who will be joining us on the building today.
Yes, on the building.
On the building, not in the building.
Everybody, y'all give it up for Jess Flo.
Jess Flo, let's get it.
How you doing,
You
Jess?
are on the building.
Me.
Yes, thanks for coming through,
Thanks for
Jess.
Welcome.
An amazing person. I'm super excited about having her on as a guest for the show.
Right. We've been trying to get you in here for a couple weeks.
Yes, and we've been
Y'all
withholding some conversation.
Is it our fault?
Yes,
Why?
your fault, not mine.
No. Yeah, definitely. It was totally her fault, but no.
But look, hey, let's not place blame. She finally on the building.
Yes,
So,
she's on the
But first of
building.
all, I don't know if I want the blame, though.
You gotta take it.
It's all
No.
good. No, you know what? You've been busy, and that's
Yeah.
that's
I
good.
know,
That's
we
part of
definitely-
what we want to talk about. So
So you had an event last Wednesday, right? Did you ever do that?
last hump day.
Wednesday.
you were on a radio interview last Wednesday. So
you've been
what
making your
we're-
rounds.
Yeah, you've been doing your thing. But what we were going to talk about, is if you guys don't know, again, you're tuned into Guerilla Cross, Our Perspective podcast, and we have the lovely, talented Jess Flo in the building.
Yeah, one more time. Clap it up for
Yes,
Jess Flo.
one more high breath applause for Jess Flo. Jess Flo is the founder of a wonderful organization called Black Girls Inspired. I consider her a poet, a community activist. She is an autism advocate for the African American community, and just an all-around dope person. So,
Yeah, man.
again, we're excited to have you, and I wanted to talk a little bit about your organization, Black Girls Inspired. Like, what inspired you to found that organization? What need were you really seeking to meet?
Let's go right in. Let's go for it.
So when I originally, I'm from Chicago,
Chi-town.
Hey.
and
Ladies in the
Chirac.
house. I had
Chirac.
She actually has a piece called Chirac that's so
Oh, for real?
dope.
For real? Okay,
Anyway,
sorry.
I think go ahead.
Okay. So I was watching Black Girls Rock, and I was like,
I love that.
Vegas needs something like this. We just need to recognize African American women. And so I put it out to the community,
Mm-hmm.
and the women in the community said, no, we need to create something ongoing. But you
Yeah.
can't use Black Girls Rock because it's
Exactly.
trademarked. So then I came up with Black Girls Inspired.
Yeah.
And, just going off
That's
of the
dope.
words of the women in the community to do something ongoing. I just wanted to create an organization where us as African American women can work together, break down the stereotypes that we can work together and do things like that. And shoot, we just started doing a whole lot of stuff. You name it,
Absolutely.
we were
So
doing it.
Yeah.
So what
Yes.
kind of stuff do you have
We've-
going on right now?
Actually, right now with Black Girls Inspire, it's kind of dormant.
It's dormant.
I done picked up
We
a
can
whole lot of other stuff.
But I mean, we can talk about
Yeah,
what
let's-
you've done,
yeah, let's
even with
definitely-
it first, and then go into what's going on. But I mean, I've been a part of some of your
Right. So with Black
events.
Girls Inspired, we had the ongoing event Crown Me Queen.
Yes.
Where we would recognize women, and we would always recognize two men from the community.
Shout out to the queens and the two kings.
Yes.
Sound like a full house right there.
Actually, I had we had an ongoing basketball game, and we're going to bring it back. It started off as poets versus rappers.
Yeah.
Basketball game, and then it turned into rappers versus comedians. And we made it to 5 years straight of doing that, and it really
Hold
came
on.
up.
So you got something against singers or something?
That's a lot of sweat on the court.
Oh
You
my
got
God.
When we bring it back,
If you
when
don't know,
we bring
he's
it
R&B.
back-
He's R&B.
I hope
R&B,
too. I
all
hope
the
too.
Super
way.
R&B.
Y'all
Oh
might
my.
get out there and be soft, though. Like,
No.
He
What?
he
Like-
breathes
Crazy.
R&B.
But
Crazy.
he's a baller though. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah, he playing
Wait.
league.
Better ask somebody.
No, I
Yeah,
think
ask
if
somebody about me.
anything, R&B. I mean, if you
I'm probably.
He's
gonna be
so R&B,
I don't
like,
call fouls. I
he
ain't
w-
called a. Listen, I ain't called a foul since the doctor hit me on the butt when I was a baby.
You caught that
understand
foul?
but I'm just
I
saying,
didn't
as
even call
long
that
as
one,
as
actually.
long as his girl, shout out to his boo, is in the
Shout out
the
to his boo.
sidelines.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he all the way in, boy.
Okay, so when we bring it back, we'll do like the R&B singers verse,
He gonna be-
somebody first.
He gonna be the only person on the team.
But
No,
you gonna kill it.
I actually, my boy, he actually calling right now. I don't know why, because he know I got a show. He hooping me too. We got a game tomorrow, so.
Hey,
Yeah,
we gotta
definitely.
check that
So
out.
you had
champions.
so
What's
you've
up?
had basketball games, you've had like special events that crown men and women, or
Mhm.
mostly women because it's Black Girls Inspired, but definitely
Right, but
you
we
don't leave the- you
always
don't leave the
try to
fellas
lead
out.
them in. Now we
Absolutely.
You
letters,
don't leave the fellas
letters
out,
to
yeah.
my sisters.
Yeah,
We did an
That's
event
dope.
called Letters to My Brothers, which was really a powerful event. It was
Right.
even more powerful than Letters to My Sisters. Like the man showed up for that event. It was
Yeah.
really powerful.
That's what's
That's dope.
up.
That's dope.
So we do fun stuff
Like scavenger
hunts on the
hunts.
strip.
I was gonna say,
on
you better mention
Fremont
it.
Street. Like
okay.
you name it, we do it. Like
What y'all,
I
what
enjoy
y'all
it.
hunt
'cause-
for? What y'all have
it
on
be
a
different
scavenger?
stuff. Like
Don't be
find a
bashful.
bad weave and take a picture of it. And,
Find a what? A bad weave. and
Wait
take
a
pictures?
minute.
Shout out to the people who don't have a weave budget.
Right.
You out here helping people get through their scavenger hunt.
Right. So
Hey, we all
Yeah, it was all
contribute
type of
somehow.
Could you tell I got a weave? Look that.
Anyway.
There's no hang
But yeah,
time.
no, Jess Flo is always involved in or putting together something amazing.
Yeah, man, that's dope.
And to speak a little bit further too about just your influence in the community, you're one of the go-to people when people are doing events in Las Vegas. You're one of the go-to people to go to.
I
That's
like
so
that.
redundant.
You one
The
of the
go-to people to go to, son. Anyway, so you just did the celebration of the Women's March. Tell us.
Yeah, we wanted to talk about
yes,
that, but we was
I've
like,
seen amazing.
Brit was like, you gotta wait till Jess come
yes.
in. Don't be out here talking about the women's march.
Right,
Because
let's
you
not
don't
touch on
know.
too much,
Yeah. So, but I mean, I've seen video after video. I was actually slated to be there, and when I realized I couldn't, I let you know. But I mean, I definitely would have been involved if I could have. Tell us about it. How was it this year? I know that there was some controversy
Because I got
surrounding it.
questions.
There was some controvery surrounding it, and I know
seen a lot of
I even hear and have heard sometimes people have feelings about African American women joining women's movements because for various reasons they feel like it's going to be an all feminine thing, or the needs of the African American communities are going to be neglected when you just focus on gender.
Right.
I've heard a lot of different perspectives, and I'm just curious, what are your thoughts about the event and just everything surrounding it?
So it was a lot of controversy. And last year when they brought it here, I was asked to perform and I turned it down because I felt the same way. Like, this is not about us.
Okay.
And because, I had a tendency to say yes to stuff. And I'm like, you want to perform? And I'm like, yes. And then I see all the black women like, well, we not going. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going then. So this year they came to, when it came up, I went to the meeting and they like, we want black women at the forefront. Black women didn't feel like they were a part of it last year. We want them at the forefront.
Okay.
They asked me to be in charge of entertainment.
If you
I'd
don't,
say-
if
go
you don't
ahead.
mind me asking, why didn't black women feel like they were a part of it?
Or that they didn't want
if the
to.
black women chose to not
because
go there.
there was a bunch of white women who voted for Trump, and now y'all mad.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I get
I
it.
mean,
Okay.
but
I
then
just want that to
but
be
not
clarified.
just that, but then at the
Yeah.
same time, like, are we really talking about the things that
Matters.
affect us in our
Yeah.
community?
Right.
Right, because it's a broad.
So
Right.
so
It's a bunch of information.
underrepresentation,
Yeah.
being there was not
Right.
enough. You need to have your voices
Right.
heard.
So
okay.
they just want you guys to be there. They didn't want you guys to have a voice
So
at all.
so initially, that's how it was sold to us, that
Right.
they wanted us to be there and have a voice.
But it wasn't.
And the controversy that Brittany's talking about is, in the end, the final product was like, no, you just want us there for numbers.
Right.
So-
They trying to
I
make
get it now.
they trying to make it look like look
Yeah,
at
we're
all the
all
supports we're
united
getting
because
from all
of
these
what
different
happened-
demographics.
Because what happened in
demographics.
Alabama with Roy Moore,
Right,
with
right.
the black women showing up, so it's like,
yeah.
let's
Yeah,
galvanize
forget
the
Roy
base.
Moore.
Right. So
Boo, that's why you lost.
So right, but black women were who showed up to
Exactly.
make them lose. So,
Mhm.
but
Okay.
in the end, so then you saw the controversy, and
Yeah.
other African American women within the community, we stood separate, but we stood together. Like,
And that's one of the
I'm not
things I
going to the
commend.
march, right?
Yeah, I commend about. But I mean, that's one of the things I commend about you. Even with you saying from last year to this year, you said, well, you would say yes, and then when you saw that there wasn't a lot of people attending, you changed your mind. But then this year, I watched from, I watched even from Facebook. I understand the concerns that a lot of people in my community have, but this is why I'm standing up in this way. And to me, that's one of the things I admire about you, is that even if people disagree with you, you stand for what you stand for. And at the end of the day, how is this going to benefit the community? And that's what you focus on. So I respect it.
I felt like what I needed to say needed to be said.
Yes.
You know, some people was like, oh, it was ballsy what you got up there and said, but
I heard some
like
feather ruffling. I didn't, and I've seen videos, but so talk to it.
Yeah, talk to us.
I like that.
Talked about these feathers you done ruffled out here.
What were some of the needs that you address, or some of the
well, the crazy thing is that I probably ruffle more feathers within our community.
As in the black community?
Yes.
Or?
Like,
okay.
it's really,
sometimes we need that.
We are more afraid to speak the truth than white people are to hear it. Like, I can get up there, and I didn't really say too much. I was speaking to us. I was speaking to them, but speaking to us at the same time.
Right.
So I said something like, I'm more concerned with black suffering than white guilt, and and it's just simple stuff like that. But to me, it's white people.
So wait, black people had a problem. You saying you're more concerned with black suffering and white guilt?
I'm not gonna say that. Explain that comment.
Yeah.
So I got it from I was over at the mosque talking to at the Nation of Islam. I like to do work there. And Brother Duke, I just love him. He's the pastor over there.
Salute to Brother Duke.
And he made the comment, and I never really had thought about it. And then I was at work talking to one of my white coworkers, and we was talking about racism. And he understood everything I was saying, but then my black coworker stepped in and softened the blow for him of what I was saying. And I'm like,
to try to like sound like it's,
to mediate and balance.
But he wasn't being offended about, he knew what I was saying was real. So that's black
bring it back
people.
real quick. I think, so what was his initial statement? Was his initial statement your comment about like black, I'm more concerned about black suffering than white guilt? Or?
No, but he
it was
asked me to explain what that means. And so that's
so
what
pretty
I'm saying.
much you bring the knowledge to how it is for black people as far as how far set back we are.
Right, but
and
we
you don't
always
care about the sensitivity of
like you speaking truth, but black people tend to always want to step in and say, well, she not talking about you and she not talking about all of
right.
that.
Which is common sense.
Right.
We're not necessarily talking about the person in front of us, because we all have have friends of different.
But you know what?
ethnicities.
I was always taught that it ain't what you called, is what you answer to. So, and if the shoe fits, wear it.
No, but
that don't always apply. And
yes, it
I don't
does.
want to
It
go.
Always applies.
We'll go back to that. We'll get back to that. But
what I would add to that is to me, the emphasis in that discussion or that scenario was that he already understood. He didn't necessarily.
Right. Yeah. He didn't need that.
He didn't need
extra
translation.
Stuff.
But we have
but and that's true. And I think the point you're making is great. But
I understand.
But I would also understand that if someone is not understanding, then maybe putting it different ways may be beneficial.
Well, if they're not understanding, that's one thing. But if you engage in a racism discussion with me, then
you don't understand.
I don't need you to step in.
Was a dude like Uncle Ruckus? Is that his name from Boondocks?
No,
he's not talking about you.
No,
white people.
Mr. Good White Man, sir. Use one's the good one.
No, he wasn't though.
That's what I'm
But
not on Black History Month. We're not gonna do that on Black History Month.
Just like when I had Black Girls Inspired, it's like, well, why does it have to be Black girls? We are the only group of people. We scared to celebrate us.
Ain't nothing
like
wrong with
we
that.
are so afraid to celebrate us. We feel like we doing something wrong.
Right.
That's a good point right there.
Anything Black.
That's a good point. Like, stop hating because we don't put Black in front of it. People out here trying to say, why is it Black History Month? I mean, first of all, it's been here before you was born. But second of all, like, let us celebrate. We want to celebrate openly, and it's not that we can't, but like, because my wife is doing something really special this year. Like this year, we're celebrating Juneteenth, like we celebrate 4th of July.
Right.
Like, so we about to get out here and make sure things happen correctly for us, because that's our part of our heritage. We need to celebrate our Blackness, and not just in February.
Right.
You know, I don't want to just big up all the people who done, invented the hot comb and invented the ironing board and invented street lights and peanut butter.
Those things are important.
I don't want to just do that in February.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that we are
educating ourselves
and constantly, you know what I'm saying, showing that to our children, because if we don't do it, it dies with us.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I mean, that's a major salute to you.
Yeah.
When did you start Black Girls Inspired?
It was in 2011, I think.
I don't know why I
Nice.
thought it was 2012.
What
It
gave
might have
you-
been 12. You know what? I started Poet in 2011, a chapter of
Right,
Poet.
right.
And,
And that's when I was first getting introduced to
right. So that was a chapter of an organization out of Chicago, and I started it here. And people were like, well, why are you building somebody else's organization? Like, make your own organization. So that's
Which
what-
there's nothing wrong with that, but still, if you got something, you have so much within you to share. Why not get that message out?
Mhm.
And that's that's what's up.
Yeah, I
So-
think that's
You got a
amazing.
lot of.
Well,
Oh, girl.
what if I don't know if you touched on this already, but what was the point that made you like,
Yeah,
I need to do it. I
That's a good
need
point.
to do this. Like you were just sitting there laying down in your bed or whatever the case may be. I don't know
I need
where
to
you was
do
at in
what?
life.
Just
Just hey, you know what? I need to
grew
start
up
this
in
because
this.
that's
like I grew up. I was thinking last week, like, man, I grew up so unapologetically Black. Like, it's crazy because I grew up in Chicago, and Chicago is very segregated. I grew up around all Black
Oh,
people.
wow.
All Black people. And I just thought about it, like, man, I didn't even know what the national anthem was until I was almost grown. We sang the Black national anthem.
Oh, yeah.
Every day. Right. Right.
I'm familiar with Chicago. My boy that
Sing
was
it.
calling was he's
Right,
from Chicago.
like,
so.
so I was like, when OJ got acquitted, they announced that on the intercom at school. Like,
Y'all was happy, huh? Y'all was happy?
except for that one white teacher who read out the class.
Right. But y'all was happy, huh?
Right.
She was
but
mad.
I had to think about it, and then like my
Sound
mother,
like Chris Rock joke. Go
like,
ahead.
Chris
like
Rock?
I grew up. My mother didn't celebrate Christmas. We celebrated Kwanzaa. So I just grew
So
up.
you
like
grew
this.
up that
I grew
way.
up
Really?
in
Okay.
this. Right.
So you got 8 gifts, 10 gifts. How many days of
7.
Kwanzaa? 7.
But my grandmother celebrated Christmas. But
Oh,
you
no,
know,
that's-
I
So you
grew-
was like, can we go to grandma?
right, and
house
then
too?
it was
Right.
like, what was the religion my mother used to do? So it was non-denomination Christian.
Yeah.
But we
Non-denom-
didn't celebrate Christmas. We went to church on Saturday. We didn't eat pork. It was like a
bless your heart.
Muslim,
Bless your heart.
7-day Adventist.
You was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So you know
everything.
ribs?
Huh?
You ain't eat no ribs or
We couldn't eat
Not
pork.
pork ribs.
We,
you can.
know,
There's beef ribs, right? I don't eat those
we
either.
had
But
to eat beef ribs.
You
but I'm
couldn't
just
eat no
saying
hot
that's some
dogs?
things I didn't know about.
Huh?
no hot dog.
No, what
No
just-
bacon. And my daddy used to eat the
Is
stuff
she-
in front of us.
why-
They used to
Me
be
out
like
to
child
the
abuse.
bar.
Jess, can I say
Uh-huh.
something? Please don't fall down his trap because he is
He'll
trying
have
to.
you talking about broccoli.
So wait a
and-
minute. So what you're trying to say is you don't eat pig feet? Oh no, we don't eat
didn't.
pork. Okay,
But
so what
I-
you're
He
trying to
love-
say is you don't eat ham hocks.
But wait,
You
I
love
couldn't-
hogs, mom. I'll take you to
I
Friday
couldn't
real
wait
quick.
until I grew up though, so I can eat a pork chop. Like
See?
I just wanted
See?
to eat
Is
a
it
pork
good?
chop.
Is it good?
It was good, but then I ate it
wasn't
for a little
worth it.
while and then I stopped.
Yeah.
The only thing I forget that's pork now is like bacon
Pepperonis?
and ham
Oh.
and pepperoni.
For me,
Oh,
pepperoni.
bacon is the whole.
Pepper-
What about Jello?
Bacon is that pork?
Jello has
Yeah.
it has
Yeah.
pork.
pork bun.
You
Girl,
know,
it's a whole lot of stuff.
you know-
Nobody
And
eats
marshmallows.
Jell-O like that.
Did y'all know?
Uh-huh.
Do you brush your teeth?
Don't be saying much.
What you gonna say?
You know,
But
toothpaste
there's-
got pork in it.
No, but there's natural.
Toothpaste got pork in it.
Hey, I think that might be a fact.
Hey,
Yeah,
it's-
listen
that low
to-
key is a fact.
But
Nah.
check
because
it. Hold on
came
one
to my
second.
head.
Hold on one second. If you want to call in, yo, Tiangelo, give him the
Give
number.
him a number.
Hey, it's 702-608-3259. No,
What
I
is
did
it
not
again?
look at 702. Oh, you want me to do it? Okay.
Sexy.
No, I just want you to just do it.
702
Uh-huh.
Pause.
608
Uh-huh.
3259.
Yeah, we got
Ladies,
Jess
holla at
Flo up here on the Our Perspective
Holla.
I mean, I
podcast.
respect.
But I just want to say there's natural toothpastes because I make them. So anyway.
Hey, I don't know if it's for
You
sure
not-
pork
what-
in it,
so
but
sell
it
it.
came to my head, so I feel like it's the truth.
So you just
Every
like-
week.
I
We're
promise
tuning
you. Watch.
He's real
Let's
good.
fact check.
I just want to share something really quick, and it's super random, but you know what? Why not for the month of? Actually, no. Tiangelo
What?
can do us history. Just drop.
Yeah, we're gonna bring back some us history.
Yeah.
for you.
I know.
Just,
I saw that and I was like,
Drop a few of them people.
all right, I get to pick which one.
All you gotta do is tell us.
Oh, we got a
one-
call. Hey, I bet you it's facts.
Tiangelo.
It's about toothpaste. Hold on. We got a call.
Hold on one second. Hey, caller, what's going on? Where you calling from, and what's your perspective?
I'm calling from Henderson. It's your girl, God's Poet. You know I had to call in my
Hey.
girl in the building.
Yeah, she
Hey.
on the building.
What's up?
Talk about that toothpaste.
Even though y'all won't let her answer one question, I'm just saying.
Too funny.
Hey, that,
I just want to... Yes, Tiangelo.
No, but what's going on? How you doing, Miss God's Poet?
I'm all right. I just wanted to just call in and just tell my girl Jess that, shout out to everything that she does in the community. That's my sis right there.
Yeah.
Every time she calls me with something, I'm always there. Every time I call her, she's always been there. She's always doing things out there. And I just want to say thank you for all that you do. If anyone has not told you, thank you for everything that you do in the community. Love you, sis.
oh,
You too, God's Poet. Oh, I got it. Love you too, sis. Thank you. You've been my ride or die. You have. Everything I call you for, you've been like, yes. I'm not done yet, though. I'll be calling you some more stuff. I'm not done yet.
All right, so
All right.
well, thank you for calling in. Make sure you share the post and keep tuning in. Love you, baby.
All right, y'all. Bye.
Thanks.
And just to throw something out there and piggyback on that, God's Poet is actually putting together an event called the Takeover. And actually, the Odd Perspective will be involved with hosting it.
Yes, Our Perspective has something going on. Definitely, we will give you a little bit more about that in the end of the show.
Yes.
Or actually, towards the middle of the show, we got a couple other things to announce about that.
When we feel like it, we gon'
But
share.
on the 24th of this month, the Odd Perspective will be hosting their first actual event. We'll be at the helm of the event and kind of like you'll see us on it.
Oh, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be so
amazing.
funny.
It's called the Takeover. Shout out to God's Poet.
Shout out.
So.
Get back into
Miss Jess, you do poetry also, right? Because we talked about your activism, but you know what I'm saying, we also put it out there that you're a poet also. So where's your roots from poetry come from? Like, where did you find your creativity?
Yeah, but I was writing. I say a difference. I say spoken word and poetry.
Okay.
Right. It is a difference.
Yeah. So growing up in Chicago, I was just a little girl sat at home, and I used to just write a lot of poetry. I had boxes and boxes of poetry.
Right.
Yeah.
When I moved here and I saw Bliss, Sister Bliss,
hey,
right?
She's so dope.
Shout out to my girl Bliss. Y'all
Yes,
know her, yeah.
she's so dope.
I seen her perform, and I was like, I want to try spoken word, and so that's what made me try spoken word. So. Actually, Vegas is the only place I have ever performed spoken word.
Really?
What?
Yes.
So you haven't that in Chicago? Do you
I've
go back?
I've performed in my own city. When I've been back, I've never got around
Blasphemy.
to staying.
Does your family know?
Yes, they try to give me out. Like my family is like have
You
their
know
own
what's-
record label out there and everything.
So-
You know what's
Like-
strange about that though?
Can I get a deal?
You
No,
put
I'm
on
sorry.
you put on for Chicago. You rep for both. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to admit you do rep for Vegas really well too.
Yeah.
But you rep for Chicago and they've never seen you perform.
Nope.
I'm mad. I'm upset about this.
It happens.
If I was
So, I
from
get it.
Chicago, I'd be so mad at you.
I'm gonna get back out.
Yes, I'm gonna need you to
I
go
am.
open for somebody.
That's my goal this year, so just to travel and perform in different.
And I'm
Or
going to right.
headline.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
We need to we need to do a give it a mic
Yes.
tour
Yes.
and just.
How was that event? I mean,
It's always
dope.
amazing.
It's always amazing.
I
Yeah.
really, really wanted to make it out to
Yeah.
that event. I mean, I had a couple people who I knew. I think Bliss was on it, Britt was on it. You know what I'm saying?
God's
You was on it.
Poet.
Gospel was
Yeah,
on it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like, how was that event? Because it was definitely
It's
something
always-
I had something going on that night. It was for family,
That's
and I
usually-
couldn't make it out.
Yeah.
Well, you know the names you just named. You already know.
Right, but it was more people on the
It was
car,
it was
right?
amazing. It was powerful
Yeah,
as
man.
it is. And shout out to China, Miss
Yeah.
China, also another amazing.
Because people try to
Killer.
act like ladies out here ain't out here spitting. People trying to act
Right.
like they.
I'm gonna need people to have a seat.
So they sold seats, right? You guys sold seats,
Right.
but like I thought it was dope because it was 4 people that I knew who were amazing on it,
Aw, thank you.
and
Thanks, man.
3 people that I knew were
Thank you.
amazing on it.
Stop.
Minus Britt. No, I'm just playing. You see, she wasn't even paying attention.
I
But-
said thank you.
Right,
Do
and
you
that's
see
why
how
I
they come
changed
for
it.
me? Do
And
you
I
see how
changed
they
it
come
They
for me?
better check themselves, Brittany. What you the most booked poet in Las Vegas, right?
Can
No,
you?
right
can
now.
you
She's
play-
the most
hey, I
decorated.
didn't
She's
say
the
that.
most decorated poet in Las Vegas.
The most decorated. I
The
don't
most
ever say
decorated.
that, but y'all
I
heard
heard
it from-
something like that.
I've never heard that, but
But
something like that.
I
but
thought,
I'll take it.
I thought that was
I just
amazing.
need my bank account. to
So,
say the
like-
same,
I know, right?
man?
Hey, man.
I thought that was amazing, and like, you know what I'm saying, to be able to put an event together like that, and then you have the like rappers versus poet, or what was it, like hip hop
Yeah.
Hip
versus
hop.
Basketball
Yeah.
games and
No,
events.
he's talking about
No.
the
events.
hip hop versus
The poetry
poet.
versus
yeah,
hip hop.
and that just happened. I was
Yeah.
man, I
But
was
that's
try-
a touring show, right?
Right, that's Queen Sheba.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
she
you were
cool.
on that also,
feel
right?
like-
So
Yeah.
Next time, dude, I feel like that would be dope to be a part of.
I went.
It
I
was
wanted
it
to-
was an
perfect.
amazing show because I don't
Perfect.
think anybody has ever brought the rappers and the poets together.
Like that.
Uh-huh.
It's always comedians and poets that people try to bring together.
Right.
But
Right.
it was dope because at
Can-
the end of the day, we forget hip hop artists are poets.
see, you guys know more about the poetry and the spoken word
Uh.
more than I do.
What's the difference?
I don't know that
You're
y'all know,
asking-
but I do a little spoken word myself. But
no, you
I'm
just
not
speak.
gonna let. I'm not. And it's words. So
Facts.
what my question was to you was, what's the difference between poetry and spoken word? Because you did say it was a difference,
There
but
is
I
a
I
kind of
said
thought it was.
but this is me.
There is a difference. Go ahead.
No, I,
So-
Give your interpretation, please.
For me, if you're gonna be a
Perspective.
spoken word artist, you need to have a certain type of cadence. It's about the performance,
Delivery.
the
Yeah.
delivery.
So let me
Um,
ask you this: is it not? hot dogs. I wasn't allowed to
First
eat
of all,
hot dogs.
that's one form.
Because it was pork.
But we don't all have the same style. You can have a style,
I
but
couldn't look at Porky
you can
Pig.
you can appreciate
On TV.
poetry or write poetry that is beautiful, and even some that has certain structure to it that's like you learned in creative writing classes and stuff like that. But when you, because I've been a poet my whole life, I was a spoken word artist after I came back and was named Brittany Soul. I was not a spoken word artist, so I understand that you remember that you were a poet first,
Right.
So paint,
and
so
not
I got-
everybody,
yeah.
not
so
everybody.
Paint that picture of what you mean by the two different.
I look at poetry as that stuff you sit in your room and you write
Uh-huh.
and
You feel.
it has more feeling behind it. But the spoken word is when I perform and when I'm hard
I'ma
headed and
say
when I'm
this.
grabbing the audience.
I think I
I'm
got
gonna
something.
say this like this too. You can prepare a meal and give it to someone, or you can give them something to help digest it. So poetry is like, this is the meal.
Okay.
You can eat at your leisure. You can eat however you'd like to eat it.
Mhm.
But spoken word is like, let me help you. And I'm the reason I use
I
that
like
in
that though.
yeah. The reason
That
I
was so-
use
that was so poetic.
I
know,
it was.
right?
I
And
like it.
I use that analogy because now that I'm an author and I'm a
Did you
public-
freestyle that?
Okay, now yes.
Let
now
her
that
talk.
now I'm a published author, excuse me. So when I do events and I read from my book, people are like, now I hear your voice in all of the poems. Because they already bought the book, but they're
Right.
reading it with their own voice, which is fine.
Right.
Right.
Sometimes people say, oh, I hear your voice when I read this one
Right,
poem or whatever.
yeah.
But when I'm starting to perform a little bit from my book, like technically reading it, but performing it like spoken word,
Mhm.
now they're like, I'm beginning to read your poems and hear your voice. So I
Right.
help them digest it to hear how this poem is actually a song, and now you hear the cadence and the pattern with it. But the point is, with poetry, is either way, you're meant to feel it. Beyond my voice, you're meant to feel it. You know what I'm saying?
So it's
And
it's there's
spoken
an
part-
interpretation in the words.
And spoken word was part of the revolutionary. Like
Right.
the revolution.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like it was.
So would you
it was-
claim that what like I dream of I dream of Genie, the I have a dream speech is the spoken word?
Yeah,
It's
was
spoken as spoken word. He happened to
yes,
be
it
a
was a
preacher,
speech.
That's
but he
It was a
happens to
speech.
be a preacher, so he was constantly speaking as a speaker anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, what he says is poetic. So
Right.
yeah,
Very
I
much
would
so.
say it was
So-
spoken word. Yeah.
So pretty much the spoken word is pretty much the heartfelt. I'm trying to really get.
I
this.
Go
know.
and wrap it up, brother. Yes,
So
it's for you.
It's a heartfelt thing, and it's an entertainment grabber. It's to grab the attention of people
I would
that.
say,
I mean,
yeah.
It's to
poetry-
make them
Don't
understand
get
more,
me
right?
wrong.
Like-
Poetry can grab
Yes.
the attention, and you can really get into poetry. And I'm not. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that.
You know what?
But I think when it comes to a show,
Mm-hmm.
this is just
It's
me.
the perform. It's
It's
more so the
about the
performance.
I think I get
Because-
it. It's like, is it the kind of the difference of I'm a
Like
writer
poetry
for
reading?
for a singer, and I'm a sing. I write my own lyrics and I perform my own lyrics. Is
But
it kind
see,
of like that?
Poetry, and this is my interpretation
Right.
of it. I think poetry is I don't want to use the term poetic, but like it's
Right.
just something that is like haikus are poetry.
Yeah.
You know,
It doesn't even have to
small
rhyme. Yeah.
excerpts are poetry. These are things that are that were a feeling that I had. You know, Brittany has a couple of poems, at least I call them, in her book. They're like 3 lines or 2
Right.
lines.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, spoken word is, I think, is the action
It's,
of putting that out.
It's
And
the
so-
performance.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
almost
yeah, I
like
get it.
I'm adding
Yeah.
not just the words and what you can imagine in yourself, but I'm also assisting you
Right.
with the color, the timbre, all of those
right,
things.
right.
But
Mhm.
I
Visual.
do feel like poetry in some aspects can go a lot further than spoken word performances. And there may be, and that's again why I wrote the book. I was like,
Yeah.
you know what, I want my voice to be heard beyond my own
Yeah.
limitations.
So
That's dope.
speaking of
That's
books,
dope.
would you ever work on a book? Would you ever put your
I do
poetry
want
together?
to write a book. It's
Yeah.
just about taking the time to
To
sit
do
down
it,
and do
yeah.
it. Right.
Nice.
I would love to write a book.
Let me
yeah.
know.
Well, you got somebody right here. You got
Let
a
me
professional
know.
right here. You got
When
a
I-
vet.
I would
When
not
I-
call myself a professional. I mean, I guess that
Come on,
define
you got a
professional.
you got a published
A
book.
professional
Professional means
is
that somebody
somebody
pays
pays
you.
you for it.
I'm a professional.
Exactly.
I
So,
just learned something
you
new.
better talk it. You better speak it.
I'm a but you know
Now
we're
your
all
paid,
a professional.
now your
at
paid
some-
rate
Claim
it makes you a better professional, but
It's-
at the
it's-
same
but
time,
isn't that-
you are a
Kind
professional.
of, kind
Isn't
of.
that
'cause-
interesting how something depending if you can sell to someone that something is valuable enough, they'll pay whatever for whatever.
Sure.
Isn't that crazy that concept?
Mm-hmm.
Because people are underpaid that are more valuable than they. You know what I'm saying?
Like
Than
There's
they
a
know.
lot of professional rappers
like you
that I
said.
don't
Like
think
myself.
are better than
Yes.
you, James.
Yes.
Well, I'm a professional
Dang, we
rapper
both-
too. I get
we
paid
both
for
That's
it.
said
when I
you-
say it's a lot of professional rappers.
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
people-
But-
Shout out to James Mays Fence Music.
Yeah,
Vince
man,
music.
definitely.
But yeah. So what else is going on? We were talking about the black girls in. Wait, real quick.
No,
before-
no. I love
Being Black
Yeah, I
Festival.
love Being Black Festival.
But
What's going
before
on
we
with
get into that,
Oh,
I want Mr. D'Angelo to give us some us history real quick. Just teach us one thing real
Well,
quick.
listen.
Oh
that?
boy. All right.
Explain to the
Segue.
people what us history is too.
Us history is history. Is it history for? It's U.S. history for the United States.
Because you know I'm about to
Of
get
America.
you.
But Black
I'm about to get
history-
you ready.
but
I'm
Black-
about to get you in trouble. You know that, right?
Is it Black
But
history?
Black history is our history.
It is our
as
history.
a country. Yeah.
Us history.
Yeah. Come on. This is your segment.
This
bro.
is us history. But I ain't did this in a long time.
And
so-
I'll tell you. I'll tell
bear
you.
with me
I'll
now.
tell you why we doing this.
So listen.
'Cause I'm gonna get him in trouble in a minute.
Why you gonna get me in trouble?
Yeah,
Go
Why
ahead.
you gonna do that, James?
Because
Teach us-
every February we talking about this. Go for it.
Oh, I remember.
Teach us something,
I
D'Angelo.
remember. You know, everybody changed though. No.
Oh, okay.
All right, so no, we want to open doors for people, right? We
Uh-huh.
all want to open doors.
Yes, that's good.
And we all want doors open to us.
Yeah.
So we knock on the doors. So
Mm.
who we should give a shout out to,
Give thanks for.
give thanks
On
for.
tonight.
Uh-huh.
We gonna say what's up. We
What's
gonna
up?
say what's up
To who?
to O Dorsey.
Oh, Dorsey. Shout out
Dorsey.
Why?
She made the doorknob.
And
We
what,
couldn't open the doors without the doorknob.
what
am I
year
right?
was that
To,
anyway?
I love that her name was Dorsey
I
too.
know, right?
I know, right?
She was
Oh,
like,
Dorsey.
you,
You know,
don't say
that's
my
LA.
name.
That's
what
LA
should,
right there.
What should I call it? Hmm.
Doors.
Doors.
It's a Dorsey.
Doors.
My ninja. How
It's a
you?
Dorsey. So she invented this in 1878, December 10th, 1878.
So ever since then, we was just pushing doors open.
Jesus Christ. I know, right?
Get out of my room.
All right,
I
we
just
didn't
wa-
have no doors. It was just,
Right. I just want to add
young
to that
boys
too.
can do what they wanted to do.
There
Go
are
ahead.
two words. There are two words that will open many doors. Push and pull. I just want to throw that out there.
What about
Say
Open
them.
Sesame?
That's too many words. It's too many big words.
It's only two
Anyway,
words.
let's get back
So
to
shout out to
so
Old
sh-
Dorsey
yes.
for creating the doorknob.
and shout out to
December
D'Angelo
10th,
for,
1878.
For a
for
little us
teaching
history.
us.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
thank
know,
you.
So the reason why we make him do us history, especially in the month
They
of
definitely
February,
make me.
Can I
is
have-
because
Thank you.
at least last year he didn't believe that we should have Black History Month.
Oh, don't just say it like that. Don't give her half. A
Oh,
little bit of
okay.
it.
Okay. So what other way should I have said it?
You should have said that Black History Month should be Black History Month should be every day. That's what I said.
It's true, but it's
I
not.
said
Right. Okay.
I said it shouldn't stop in a month. It should be every day. Your kids should learn something every
But
day.
Are we gonna do it outside of the month? We should.
We should.
we
I'm saying we
should do a
should.
lot
But
of
who
things.
who is it up to change that culture?
Us.
To
Exactly.
start somewhere.
Us. What?
History.
History.
Hey.
See, I ain't trying to turn that
Appreciate
back
it.
around
Anyway,
on you.
Finna do
So
that.
just
So-
tell us about the I Love Being Black Festival.
Definitely.
So the I Love Being Black Festival. First, it came out of I think it's something that they do in California. They
Okay.
do like a 1-day thing in the park, and
Shout out
somebody
to Cali.
tagged AK.
Yeah, the queen, amazing, another amazing
right.
queen.
So somebody said, AK, you should do this in Las Vegas. So then of course, like you said, everybody tagged me like Jess. Like
Jess Flo.
So then I sat down with another group of ladies, Miss Lisa Mosley, the board port. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Oh, Deborah. Yeah, I heard her
Okay.
name recently.
So one day turned into 60 days.
Mm.
So we was like, we wanted to touch so many different things within the Black community.
Mm.
So we broke it down by weeks. So week 1 was about community and culture.
Okay.
So last week we did an event called the Uncomfortable Racism Discussion.
Mm.
That was for Blacks and whites to sit at the table.
That's dope.
And surprisingly, and I'm finna get on us because we get on my nerves sometimes. I'm
Say
just
that.
keep it
Did we
real.
not come out?
White
Black-
people came out more than we came out.
How, what was the
Wow.
numbers? What was the numbers? Or just percentage?
It was just ridiculous.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna get on us for more than one. First of all,
What was the percentage?
Yeah, I
we
like when we
talk,
get on
we
us.
talk about Vegas doesn't have culture.
Right.
People
Okay.
say that, yeah.
So we had over 100 people registered,
Mm.
and we had so many more people who wanted to come to this event, and we closed the event off, and 30 people showed up.
Okay.
So
Out of 100.
I'm gonna get on us about that.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna get on us about that because we have to stop doing that. We talk about Vegas doesn't have culture,
Yeah.
and we create it, and then
Right.
What,
know,
are you
and
going to
then-
show up?
And there was so many more people who wanted to come all day long that day. I was getting messages like, "I want to come, but it's closed. It's closed."
Right.
So I'm gonna get on us about
It
that.
would
first.
have been too packed or
Well,
it would have been too
if
many,
everybody
by it being a racism discussion, you didn't want it to be
too many
too many people because
rioting.
it's a
You never
sensitive
know.
topic.
Because that'll
Yeah,
get
yeah.
real,
That'll get real bad.
real
Right.
quick.
That
What you mean? Ham hocks is
Right.
only for the colored man.
So
Colored man.
we had a good amount of white people that showed up, and I said that this is a shame because we complain about racism and they coming to the table to talk.
So was it a
Yeah.
panel or was it just
No,
an
it
open
wasn't
discussion?
a panel. It was open discussion.
it wasn't like two people sitting at a table. Like,
No, it was an open discussion for everybody to talk.
Wow.
And so percentage wise, how what was the turnout?
So if
Well,
I
30
didn't,
out of
I didn't,
100.
I didn't really count the
So was it
the
70%,
ratio, but I'm gonna say it might have been 60% white.
60% white? That's fair. That's fairly
It was
even
okay.
though.
But I'm
30
just saying,
out of 100
but
Yeah, so
for-
60%
no,
out
what
of
he's
30.
talking
But it
about the
seems like-
percentage of white to black. But I'm just saying for
Right, that would have been that's like
for-
17 to 14.
for
I'm
this
Or
to
sorry.
13.
be,
The point is,
but we had the
100
most
people.
problems. Like as far as
Anyway, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was an opportunity for they came to the table to listen to say what can we do.
Right.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And do you find that to be more powerful when people who are open to even have the discussion
Yes.
about racism, especially in this climate? Like we should be able to have
Mm-hmm.
a conversation about it, but they're open to having it, and but they also kind of approach it like, how do I help
Right.
this
And that's
situation?
what they
Because
were like.
everybody can help, even black or white or whatever race you are. You can help the situation
Yeah,
forward.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So do you think that was? Do you think it was helpful? Do you
It was
think the event was
beneficial.
helpful?
It was. I would have liked to see more on both
Turnout.
sides, not the turnout. More white people. We have more white people who what the FBI call black identity extremists. Where they identify with our struggle.
Right,
Like,
right, right. They real cool
I
with
know
us.
that I have white privilege.
they like Quan and stuff.
Oh, that's a hate group. The KKK is not a hate group according to the FBI, but
it totally.
black identity extremists. That's the new hate group.
That's the word.
Yes, that's what the FBI call it. People who other people who identify with black people, they call it. It's a hate group. So it is
Hating against who?
against them. So,
I get it. I'm just saying,
Right.
like, just
but
rhetorically.
so I would have liked to see more white people who were like,
who felt different.
racism does not exist, and even
I see
more
what you're saying.
right, and even more black people that was like would from the same perspective, like, oh no, we do this to ourselves. I think that would.
They want to negate the fact that there are real struggles and things going on.
Right, I would have liked to have more of those.
Kinda
So
like
you wanted one of them all live. I'm just kidding.
Kind of like that Joyner Lucas song.
I
You
am.
remember that
I am.
Joyner
Right,
Lucas song?
right.
I'm not a racist.
I would have liked it to be more like that. Like,
Which was a
so-
powerful,
Life Matters.
it was a powerful video. You know, you said you had a white man kind of like really speaking openly about how he felt about black people. And then you also, it turned around and it was another black man speaking how he felt like, you don't understand my struggle,
Right.
but you claim that racism doesn't exist, so on and so forth. And it was really powerful. Obviously, you know what I'm saying?
real
It was the thing.
conversations, yeah.
Joyner
So-
Lucas was the one that put that
Uh-huh.
out.
I
Okay.
think more people need to know about things like that.
So,
because
but this was the first year though. So,
Oh, okay.
so this was the first year that we did it, and that was last Friday.
No, that's
And
when it was.
then-
Okay.
Right, this is the first year. So then on Saturday there was the Emancipation Circle
Mm.
over at 100 Academy, and Franklin G from 88.1. He had a lot of different artifacts from slavery. It was really powerful.
That
It was like a
yeah.
museum
Do you-
exhibit.
and one of these things.
That's
Do you
deep.
think it's smart to have cops around in
No,
that type of environment?
because at first my partner, she did contact Metro,
Mhm.
and then I told her I didn't think that was a good idea, and Metro even told her that they didn't think it was a good idea.
not
because it
even
can
security.
antagonize in a way.
Because yeah, just them standing around, because a lot of times when we see cops standing around, we feel like they kind of trying to intimidate
Exactly.
us and stuff
also-
like that. I
and
would rather have the Nation of Islam there than
Right.
cops.
So
And-
you would, security is a good idea, but
Right,
not
but I would rather have
not
the
the
nation.
badges and the
Right,
cars,
right.
the black
Like,
and whites.
Oh, we going to jail.
And then
yeah.
after she contacted them, they even told us once they found out, they said, watch your like the post and stuff on your events to make sure
There's no
that
crazy threats.
there's not any hate groups that's paying attention to what y'all
Right.
doing.
Okay.
Right.
There's
So-
always going.
So yeah, Metro even they said
Well,
no,
I salute
we don't.
you. I salute you for
That's
definitely
what's up.
like kind of
Yeah.
getting out here and making sure that you are doing your part. And it's not just words. Like you have a movement behind you. You have an
Action.
organization behind you. You're getting support from the community, even if it's 30% out of the 100 that came through. Like, just bravo to you, sis, because
Yeah, definitely.
in this world, which is definitely changing, and racism is completely opening to the highest office in the land, like where people aren't even really like hiding it. for you to continue that fight, which is dope.
I would love to come in one of those.
As a matter
I
of
would love
fact,
that.
you guys can check out. I'm looking at the blackbusinessdirectory.biz, and I see a lot of I love being black.
Well,
events.
rather go to our.
Go
we
to-
have a
what website?
Facebook. I love being black on Facebook, and then
Boom. And there's a list of events, too.
right? Because this week kicks off week two tonight. Actually, kicked off week 2, and this week is about love, sex, and eroticism. And
Brittany like, oh, I'm there. I'm there.
No, tonight at the Urban Lounge right now is actually going on is the being black and I'm gonna say these letters wrong. LGBTQ.
Okay.
That's what's going on right now at the Urban Lounge. It's
Okay.
a discussion about being black and LGBTQ. Tomorrow is the Salon Talk, women only,
Right.
at the Classic Jewel.
Yes.
Friday is the Barbershop Talk, man only at Twix's Barbershop
Okay.
in
Hey,
Summerlin.
shout out to Twix.
Yeah, and then Saturday is the Sexpo. I won't talk too much about what's going on with that.
Well,
What time?
it's implied.
That come on.
What, the Sexpo?
Mhm.
It
What's that
starts-
about?
He said, "What time that come on?"
I don't think I can talk about what is going to be going on at the Sexpo.
But for more
But there's
information,
more
right,
than-
if you go online.
I had a performance that night.
So I'm on the page right now. If you go to facebook.com and it's just search for I Love Being
I
Black
love
Las
being
Vegas.
black Las Vegas.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
And then on Sunday it's the Naughty Gras. It's our take on Fat Tuesdays coming up. So we are doing a Naughty Gras at the Urban Lounge on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So Sexpo and then Naughty, huh?
Yeah.
it's the month of love.
They
Love,
got
sex,
dolls
and
there?
eroticism.
Okay, but
I'm playing.
I just want to say, there's some dialogue too, and before we get into our next topic, because you know what, Jess, I would like your input on the topic, the odd topic of the week that I want to present, but just some feedback from some of the lives. You're being commended for sharing what you're sharing to the communities outside of, well, I'll put it this way. Not just preaching to the choir, but opening up the discussion to speak with people that have different walks of life, different perspectives that are coming from different, So that's super good. If we can get into the odd topic of the week, one of the questions I have is when you are starting.
You want to do that right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you
Go
are.
for it. We'll do this and then we're gonna go to the serious supporter.
Sounds good. How about this? I start the question. We go into serious supporter. If people want to call
some
in, they
people
can.
to think about it, yeah.
Yes. So the odd topic of the week is when you are beginning a new business, an organization, an agency. How do your friends and family respond? And this isn't just about your experience within your culture. I just mean period. Anybody that you consider a friend or family. How do they respond? Do you get clout? Do you get people that naysay? Do you get people that support you, or people that just say they support you?
Right,
But we're gonna
right.
talk about it. I got some thoughts, and I want to hear your perspective about. So
Sure, that's a great one.
Yeah.
And we got to repost that for the people.
Yes.
Yeah, I
We're
like
about
that.
to go into this segment that we do here weekly, where we choose somebody who is of the community, of the culture, but just of entrepreneurship, who's starting a business, who needs a little bit of support. Here at the Odd Perspective Podcast, we call ourselves serial supporters. And this week's artist is my man Preach. Shout out to my man Preach. He's from Carson, California. He's been doing music for about 12 years right now. And he's a hip hop artist in Christian hip hop. He has a couple of upcoming events coming up, but we're going to play some music and we're going to kind of give our opinion on the other
Definitely.
side of what we think about the music. I'm going to play a song. Got a new single out right now. It's called About My God. So y'all check it out and let us know what you hear on the other side, please.
Look what he did for me. Tell you about my God, yeah. Look what he did for me. Let me tell you about my God. Look what he did for me. What he did for me. Let me tell you about my God. What he did for me. Yeah. He woke me up this morning, gave me a brand new day. Forgave all of my sins, washed them all away. Took away all my sorrow, gave me nothing but joy. I'm not gonna take it for granted. I'ma praise him with my voice. Nothing I did to deserve his love, but he give it. Never hold back and give all his love. Can't you see it? Nothing I did to deserve his love, but he gives it. Never hold back and give all his love. Can't you see it? Can't you see it? You see it? Look what he did for me. Let me tell you about my God. What he did for me. What he did for me. Let me tell you about my God. What he did for me. I know you're tired of stressing, tired of going through problems on top of problems. And what am I gonna do? I know this sound kinda crazy. Count it all as joy. Though him he's making you better. Believing in him is a choice. Nothing I did to deserve his love, but he give it. Never hold back and give all his love. Can't you see it? Nothing I did to deserve his love, but he gives it. Never hold back and give all his love. Can't you see it? Can't you see it? You see it? Look what he did for me. Let me tell you about my God. What he did for me. What he did for me. Let me tell you about my God. What he did for me. Look what he did for me. Let me tell you about my God. Look what he did for me. Look what he did for me. Let me tell you about my God.
All right, so that was Preach. That was Preach. What'd you guys think about
First
the
of
song?
all, did y'all feel that beat drop?
Yeah,
Hey, it was dope.
I felt it in these little earrings. Quan got these little earrings, these headphones that Quan got us. No, really, I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
I
man.
enjoyed that.
Preach is dope, man. We'll end the show with another one of his songs.
Yeah, that was dope.
But like I said, we do this weekly, man. If you guys feel like you want your music played on the radio, we reach a lot of people.
I'm sure people feel
some
like
people, some internationally, but mostly nationally. And we're getting numbers out here, and people want to know what's going on.
What happened? Dude, it was
What's
super.
going
It
on?
was nice, and I feel like it's always good when we have an opportunity that we can really
Right.
give back and broadcast people's music. As Jess Flo was just talking about,
Yeah.
people say we don't have culture, we don't have this, we don't have that. We got plenty of talented people in Las Vegas.
And I think it kind of leads in right into what you were talking about
Yes.
like, you know, being supportive. Like, how do you support the people that,
And
you know
I'm
what I'm saying?
gonna-
Kind of. But let me give Preach's information now,
Yes,
and I want you to
that's
get
what
back
I was
in.
gonna ask.
So check it out. You can find Preach, and it's spelled Preech.
Preach.
Preech.
I wonder how you say
You can catch them on IG at @preach_music, or you can hit him up at his website. That's preachmusic.com. Preachmusic.com. Check him out. He's got a couple of events coming up. He'll be at the His Hop event with my man Icy Jones. He's having an album release on the 17th of this month.
Nice.
And then he's also doing the takeover,
right?
which the Perspective will be a part of that, coming up on the 24th. So you guys reach out to my man Preach. We'll play another one of his songs towards the end of the show.
Definitely.
But Britt, you were talking about entrepreneurship, right? And
Yes.
how support happens when is it just family? Is that what you're focusing
No,
on?
I'm
or-
speaking of friends and family. I'm speaking.
Okay, so
I'm definitely speaking of people that you can definitely rely on for other reasons. And then when you decide to start a business, or whether, like I said, whether it's a business, an organization, or what have you, how do people respond and why? And I'm asking this from a few different perspectives. But in your experience. And this, I want to hear everybody's thoughts about it. Do you feel like when you start a new initiative, business, idea, whatever, that your friends and family are supportive, or do you feel like they just talk a good game, or what has been your experience?
So if we're coming at me first, I think it's hard to get like family and friends kind of on board with your dream, right?
Okay.
Because if you see it in your head, that doesn't mean everybody else can see it when you try to verbally tell them what it is.
Okay.
And it's so funny. I had this thought the other day that I need to start looking for like fan type people. You know, people who are who love what this is. Like I do hip hop, and right now I'm dabbling in battle rap. So I need to focus
killing it too.
I need to focus on people who are into battle rap and into, you know, hip hop. Maybe my mama or my cousins or all of these other people who are really close to me, they're not into hip hop. And so on and so forth. So me trying to sell them something that they wouldn't normally buy is tough. You know what I'm saying? That was something that I needed to kind of like learn and figure out like,
well, speaking of your perspective, specifically in your experience,
people want to support, but it's like I don't know if I'm really into that.
In that case, for you, they would support you just because, or they would buy your project just because they love you, and not for the sake of the actual project and furthering it.
This
is what
true.
You're saying.
But as an artist, right? Do we have that thing where do you want just people to buy your project, or you want people to feel your art?
Yeah,
and
that's me.
Follow you.
That's me right there. Like
and follow you.
I always tell people, hey, don't like it if you don't like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a pride
you
thing.
Gonna like this?
But it's true support. You want true support. I get
it. Lasts longer.
We out here like people are trying to make money off of it, but I always hear the most successful people always say like, don't get into it if you get into it for the money. If it's a passion of yours, like if something you can't help doing. If you get into it because I always hear if you get into it for the money, you get into it for the wrong reason.
If that's your only reason, that's one thing.
Yeah, that's what I said. If you get into it for the money, then you get into it for the wrong reason. Not you can't get paid. This is true. What you need and what you want to do is two different things in a lot of cases. And I feel like I can't help but to write. I can't help but to think of creative things. I can't help but to always push myself forward. And I was doing that well before I got $1. Yeah, shout out to Forward. I was doing that before I got $1 to do it. So I'll continue to do it.
Okay.
Now, when I get the dollars that makes it move forward,
it'll be more motivation.
That's really what it is.
I can dig it. I can dig it. I understand what you're saying.
So,
but for your experience, you have some people that are in it so far to support you, but not necessarily because they're into the thing that you do, right?
Right,
okay,
right.
I see what you're saying.
They don't know how to, you know what I'm saying? Like there's some people who aren't in that they like trap music. You know what I'm saying? And I don't necessarily do trap music. That's not my thing. It's not my cadence. That's not how I write. I prefer a lot of words. I prefer painting a picture. I prefer telling a story. I prefer giving you a message. And maybe it's just not like I got money, Gucci gang. Don't hurt yourself, Britt.
I hit myself.
So, but if you dig that, then that's fine. And if I ever did a song like that, maybe you'll rock with that.
Yeah.
But you're not going to live through the whole album.
Yeah, but when you stranded on the island, mumble rap ain't going to help you. But anyway, that's my opinion.
I don't know if Nas and Jay-Z going to help you either on that stranded island.
I mean, it might, but I'm just saying.
I don't remember that song.
Not everybody listens to stuff for the right reasons.
My
my reason for listening to music is a little bit different.
So what did you? Go
ahead. Let's get into Jess. I mean, so far in the organizations that you've started, the business ventures that you've been involved in, that you've actually launched or started, how have friends and family supported you, or have they?
Never mind. I'm playing. Go.
Are we getting into this conversation? Yeah, I really.
We can.
I think when you first start something, you get the most support. When you first started.
Yeah.
When you first started. So like I tell people, don't like if you put a show together.
Okay.
But you know that show gonna be ongoing. You're gonna do it every month or once a week. Don't base your long term
off the first
event, because everybody gonna come out to that
to see what's going on. Okay.
Right. Your family gonna come out, but if you're doing that show every week, they not finna be there every week, and it's not because they don't support you.
That's a good
they got
point.
lives.
They have other things to do.
They have other things to do.
Okay.
I feel like the more you do, the less support you get, and
like the more frequently you do, or like just period. Like
just people be like, some of it I think is some people get tired of seeing you doing stuff.
Right.
Like it's what people like to say.
Are the same
haters. It's some people that's just like I'm tired of this. Every time I turn around, her name on something. This person doing something.
Okay, yeah.
That's interesting.
And people stop supporting you.
Like, and that still sounds like hater.
People stop supporting you. But then on the other end, it's not about haters. On the other end, it's that people feel like you got so much support. I cannot support this time because they got so many other people that's going to support.
Hold on 1 second. We got a caller. Yo, what's up, caller? Where you calling from and what's your perspective?
My name is Monty.
Huh.
What's up, Monty? What's going on? What you want to talk about?
Crazy.
Well, I'm listening to the conversation and everything, and I want to say that I disagree on some of the things that you guys are talking about right now.
All right,
let's go.
Well,
Yeah.
go ahead. Give us your perspective. What do you disagree with?
Well, I want to say that I feel that it's out of line that your friends and your family don't come and support you. I feel that at the end of the day that if you gonna want to support me when I when I get real big in the city,
That's
but
true.
you can't support me right now. I feel like that's not cool. I feel like at the end of the day that you supposed to like come and support your friends and family, because when I make you big, you gonna want to. You know, I don't know how to say it. But
And if you can also, and also, Monty, if you could turn your radio down, loving what you're talking about, but you hear you twice.
The echo. Yeah. No, I think that's actually a good perspective that they're pointing out. But the question I have, Monty, is what do we? Well, the question based on what you just said is, what do you consider support? Is support buying all of your albums? Is the support coming out to your events weekly, or what is the support? You know what I mean?
Well, I'm an artist. Hold on. I'm an artist. I'm an artist. I feel like I'm a new artist. I do hip hop, R&B. My family know that. My best friends and them know that. Why can't you come and support me when I go and perform at a show like anybody else? You know what I mean?
Well, definitely.
I feel like it's out of line. You call yourself my friend, my mom, or whoever, and then you can't support me, and you know how good I am. I feel like at the end of the day, you support, like, that's what we feed off, like, people that come and support. The people don't know that we feed off that. Like, it makes us go extra hard when we have that support, basically.
Well, let me ask you, Monty. So, if you was doing the show every week, if you was doing the show every week, do you feel like your family should be there every week in the crowd cheering you on, even if your show costs $10? It's $10 every week. You think they should be there?
Hello? Did we lose him?
I think we lost him. But look, I think
that's a good point.
And that's kind of what I was trying to get at from the beginning, right? When you are doing something, it's wonderful to get the family support, friends support. But at the end of the day, I'm not doing this just so all my homies and my friends and my mamas and aunts and so on and so forth can be in the audience. I'm not doing it for that.
Okay.
I want to see people who feel and who are being fed by what I have to offer.
But it doesn't.
And I need to be able to push that.
And that's true, but it doesn't mean that people that know you and claim to love you doesn't help fuel you to get better.
Of course. No.
But I do want to get into Tiangelo's perspective too before I share my own as well. Like, what has your experience been?
Who said I had a perspective? I'm playing. All right, so my thing is, I pretty much agree with a couple of things that you guys are saying, and also what Monty is saying, because I know Monty.
Good point.
He's talented.
Monty J?
Yeah,
I just know your family ain't gonna get you platinum.
Yeah, he's talented, and also I do want to speak on that.
Can vote, anyway, go ahead.
I do want to speak on that.
Okay.
And I'm sure Monty's still listening, so just to answer his question, just like you guys said, every week it kind of gets strenuous, and then it's not only supporting that person, because Monty is one person in people's lives, but I'm sure there's other people that I need to support. You know what I'm saying? Just I'm putting myself in there. So say Monty wanted me to come to a show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I go to a show, but then somebody else want me to go to another show the next week, but Monty got a show as well. So I go to that show. So you can't, you stretch yourself thin.
Yeah,
so
sometimes you can't do it all.
Everybody has a different life, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So people might go out of town. You
And
know what I'm
that's
saying?
why
So you can't change your life around for
It's hard for me to support myself sometimes.
Exactly.
I gotta leave
You know
here and go to work tonight. Like
exactly. So and to bring
But
back
it's
the point
facts.
to bring back the point that James was saying, I'm not doing. I want my family and friends. They're gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? I want them to support me. I want them to show up. But at the end of the day, when I do put on a show, I want to see my family and friends and a whole lot of people I do not know. You know what I'm saying?
If it's a
or
big
maybe
show.
I saw it one time. You know,
if
like
it's a big show, but
I mean,
if
don't
you
want
doing,
every show to be big? I mean,
yeah, but if you out there on your grind, doing every open mic, you cannot expect
you can't
your people to be at every one.
So Britt, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I definitely want to get into why I'm bringing this question up and kind of bring some perspective to it.
Go for it.
And I'm gonna speak about 2 different businesses because my response is different.
Mm-hmm.
So, Soulstone Group, which is a name a lot of people don't know, my publishing company or whatever.
You better go and do a commercial.
Brittany Soul. Brittany Soul. The support, I have heard a number of things, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to that, it's more verbal support.
Okay.
I'm used to growing up. My brother did not see me perform as an adult until about a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was his first time in my whole life. Him actually seeing, and he lives here. He's born and raised here too.
Right.
Same thing. My parents. I'm used to not necessarily having people that say they're gonna come.
Right.
It only bothers me every now and again. Like it's like I really wanted someone to, you know what I mean. But and I think that just comes with any profession. But Soulstone Group has gotten a lot more support than expected. But that took time. That took building. That took years of building, or whatever the case is. Brittany Sharp Realty.
Okay.
I have helped people study for their own real estate tests.
Mm-hmm.
I have, and they use another realtor. I've had people use another realtor, then ask me to help them with their real estate stuff, or just pick my brain. I've had, I'm just a number of things. I know I have people who give me so many referrals, but when it came to down to the business of things or an opportunity for them to really help my business, they chose not to do so.
So are you looking at it from this point of, if I do for you, you should want to do
no.
for me?
Because I don't even know it until down the line. I'm just doing whatever. But
right,
but
do you find that there's an offense there?
No, I think that I have understandable grounds for it in some of those cases, not all. And I understand when people are starting businesses and everyone knows they're starting this business and these people say, hey, we support you if there's anything we could do, and opportunities come that are not too taxing. I'm not speaking about you got to be every day I'm at this thing and you got to come every day.
Sure.
Because we have to be considerate of other people's time. But if there's opportunity that allows them to share and they choose not to, but then they still say, oh yeah, we do support you.
Mm-hmm.
I do understand why different business owners or people with this, how you can be frustrated. And that's why I wanted to ask. I'm personally not holding on to offense because my nature is I can't live with toxicity like that.
Sure.
But I do understand the frustrations involved with starting a business. And hearing all day long lip service. Oh, we got you. We support you. We this, we that. Right. But not showing it.
But sometimes people don't want to see you go. Because as an artist,
go ahead. Speak on it.
Sometimes there are certain people who they always like they want to be a visual supporter. They want everybody else to see
the comments. That's
right.
It.
They want everybody else to see that they support you,
but they don't.
Then some big opportunity come along that they could have gave to you and they gave it to somebody else,
or whatever.
And you like, well, why didn't you give it to me? Like,
Yeah.
So and you that's somebody who don't want to see you grow.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Now to touch on something deeper. Maybe what if they're supporting you? What if they're being nice?
Yeah.
What if they're not necessarily friends? We talked on a previous show.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah. What if they want to support you, but they're not necessarily a fan of you? But
we're speaking of music though, or are we speaking of
we're just talking.
She said artists,
or they don't believe in your work.
There could be people who are not a fan of activism, who not a fan of
getting
out of renting.
So you gave that opportunity to somebody that you felt had the talent level and the skill level, and you were more of a fan of. So is that looked at as hate? So I'm saying
no.
we don't really know what everybody is thinking when they do these things. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I think the other person is more prepared.
And
maybe
I'm
giving listen, maybe I'm giving this other person the opportunity because they've been working harder, or because it's gonna make me look better just knowing certain people of certain caliber.
If it's somebody who's better than me, then I
wasn't talking about you.
But if you give it to somebody that's worse than me, and I didn't see this happen, I'm
but I feel you. I understand that. But then again, when it's close knit, it becomes an opinion. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it could go either way.
So kind of piggyback on something that both of you guys kind of touched on. So earlier in the show tonight, you said you heard that I'm one of the most booked poets.
Okay.
So I would not consider myself one of the best poets. I would not consider myself necessarily one of the best, yes, but I do not consider myself the best. I don't consider myself the best or the top, or I know plenty of people that are doper than me in different ways. They're just not me, but they're doper than me in whatever aspect. But even hearing that, some people, which I have not heard, but some people may feel like, well, Brittany So always on something. Like you mentioned, you know what I mean? Well, I see her name on the ticket all the time.
Well, yeah. And I think it's about you more versatile. Like as a spoken word artist, I understand that you're going to get booked over me. You sing, you play with a band. You way more versatile than most poets.
Hold on one second, guys. We're getting a call, and then... Yo, what's good? What's up, caller? Where are you calling from? What's your perspective?
I'm calling from another hallway.
Peter?
Jesus Christ.
Yo, what's going on? What's your perspective, man?
I knew it was Peter.
I just want to say you can't support everybody because everyone's doing something these days. So you can't... You have to be able to pick and choose who you can support. And honestly, like sometimes, especially when it comes to music, you can't support everybody because not everyone's dope. Not everyone's tight.
That's what I was saying.
So, but I mean, do you communicate that to them though? I mean, this is really
but like you guys said earlier, everyone has their life, so you can't. You don't have time to support everyone that's doing something.
And that's true. But I mean, and that's the thing about it. There are different ways you can support them. You can support them by encouraging them. You can send them $20. You can you can buy their CD, or you can just say, you know what, I support what, I'm glad that you're doing it. Keep doing it. There's still are there not many ways that you can support people?
There are. I mean,
and that's really,
we don't know how to
even with words.
Go ahead. But yo, caller, thank you for the call. I appreciate your perspective, man. Keep sharing it.
And also, happy birthday, Jay Dilla.
Shout out to Jay Dilla.
Bye, Quan. Bye, Quan.
Yo.
And sometimes people don't realize, too, because I think the more you are, like, Brittany So, people probably want Brittany So at their events because they want to be able to take a picture.
Why she saying that?
I'm just saying.
You sound like you. I'm just like,
because it happens. Like, people want certain people at their events, right?
Yeah.
And then if certain people, like when I first came here, I won't say any names, certain promoters in the city or different artists, people be like, oh, that person don't never show up to nothing. That person don't support anything. And people don't realize, like,
you can't do
everything.
You're
doing a million events yourself, plus you got a home life, you work, you cannot come to everything. But people don't understand that.
And so I think that just brings that point back up of you need to go out there and sell to the people who are buying.
It's presumptuous.
If you're trying to grow, but if you're trying to grow,
that's good.
You can't just think that the people in your family and your immediate friends is going to make you rich. They're not going to make you successful. They're not going to do that. They will support. And we've already pointed the fact out that once I do these big shows and I start getting on these big, and they're going to be right there. Like, yo,
I knew her all along.
Right. But at the same time, you're not going to get to those big shows if you don't move outside of your house, outside your neighborhood, outside of your vicinity and say, look, I'm sending cards this way, or I'm at conferences this way.
Right.
Like, we got to move to the point of, I mean, not pass. I'm not saying like leave your folks behind, but like you just got to stop thinking that, oh, just because my aunts and my cousins and my homies aren't at my shows, then the show ain't there. When I was coming up, we didn't even invite people to our shows, because if it's gonna be people there, I need to present all of this to these people.
Right.
Because D'Angelo, Brittany, Jess, you was at the last show. You done heard all these songs.
Right.
And now it's time to introduce to other people. I need to get
you.
more.
But energy, true. But and to be honest with you, I'm not gonna add, and in any way with what you just said, negate the fact that seeing a face you recognize in the crowd. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And to speak on what we were talking about, people showing up or not showing up. When I first got named Brittany Soul, it was the underground hip hop community that did it.
Right.
And I wasn't a spoken word artist or a singer or whatever. I was a combination of things. That was the first time I was introduced to myself. And at those events, churches did not want me to come and share poetry at the time. But that's what I wanted to do.
But it's a market thing, right? So you need to go find a market for you, right?
I at these underground hip hop events, I'm sharing stuff that's laced with Bible, laced with word.
That's where you need to be.
But
there.
At the time, it hurt my feelings at the time.
Yeah,
and
sure
at the time,
it hurts
churches,
your feelings. It hurts my feelings when my family may not want to come out, or they say they support it, or I say I got the album come out.
Yeah.
Your feelings get hurt, James?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's a little bit different. I got homies who ain't, bought my CD yet. But at the end of the day, Who cares?
It's
I got
not
people
about
who I
that.
don't
Yeah.
know.
I got it right.
It's just I
She's
think
so stupid.
I think sometimes we can become presumptuous, and it's a sign of arrogance. But we can become presumptuous, and it sounds like we have another call. But let me just get this thought out though.
Go for it.
Sometimes we can get presumptuous, so we can assume. So in those events, I was coming out to events. I was doing underground hip hop events. I was doing church events because then they started asking me to, you know, I was doing poetry events. I was wearing myself out so much, I was getting burnt out. I was in school working and trying to have a relationship and be a mom and doing all these gigs. You know what I'm saying? So coming out of that, I had to find balance. And some people may view it like, oh, she's not here, she's not there. I'll be the first to admit it. I'm trying to live too.
All right, I get it. But we got another caller. Caller, what's going on? What's your perspective? Where you calling from?
Yo, what's cracking? It's Dave D Beats out here in Riverside.
Yo, what's up, Dave?
Sound like Tyrese.
How you doing, Jay?
What's good, man? I'm good. Go ahead, speak your truth, bro.
Hey, man. I can't call it. I'm listening to the sister right now, talking about how she had all that stuff going on. I'm kind of in the same situation. I'm in the middle of finishing up my electrical engineering degree, and
nice.
Trying to be a daddy, fixing up my house. I just got blessed with about a couple $1,000 worth of studio equipment, fixing up the studio, and just doing what I got to do to keep it pushing. You feel me?
We need to take a trip.
But on a different note, I have been irritated about something.
Go ahead. What's that?
Fake butts, man.
Fake butts.
Hey,
you sound like me, man. I like this. Let's do this. Butts, or what we talking about?
Just be prepared to hear what I got to say. I'm just saying.
I'm listening.
I'm real tired of fake butts. Me and my wife, we were watching the Kardashians, and I seen these little skinny white girls with these bird legs and these big old pamper booties, and I just went with it, man. And then I started looking, and I see all these other. I'm seeing all of our beautiful black women, making a pattern of making themselves look like Kardashians. I see a bunch of slim noses, a bunch of long white European hair. Shout out to Quan because he's the only white person in that studio right now that I know of.
He's the owner.
And and skinny legs and big old butts twerking all the time on Instagram. I just get tired of butts twerking on Instagram. I just start thinking like that's just rude. Like I don't want to. That's just rude to do that to somebody. All that stench and sweat from in between and everything. Who want to do that all day?
Yo, but Dave, man, we appreciate the call,
your perspective.
bro. I appreciate the perspective because I already know you and you trolling for real. But yo, thank you for calling, man. Share the post, man. Keep people coming through. We out.
You got it, JP.
I would have loved to respond to that.
No, we're not responding to that. We're talking about this. What we talking about?
Go ahead, Jess.
He made me lose my track.
I was just saying how I can admit that I haven't even been at a lot of events or whatever because I'm trying to balance. I learned that I will get burned out for nothing. And have nothing to come home with.
And so on the other end, another perspective on support is because I see things from the promoter side and the artist side. And a lot of times, like a lot of new people move to Vegas all the time and everybody want to do what they think is not being done. And if you move here at the right time, you can get here, you can come and you can really get some stuff moving.
Right.
Stop thinking that when artists don't come out to support what you're doing that they hating on you. These artists have been here.
Say that.
They have been grinding.
Say that.
They know that it ain't putting no money in their pocket to run around to every open mic. And people don't realize the climate for artists here in Vegas is so much different.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I do not meet too many poets in Vegas that will say, I don't work in poetry. It's my full-time job. But if you go to because you go to Chicago and California, them people say, I don't work.
And
poetry
they tour.
is my full-time job. Right.
Oh, okay.
But because the culture here is not like that, I have to work.
Just turn it on. Jess Flo out here sharing the broadcast.
Yeah, I
but
that's
get that.
True.
I
get that point.
And then people they be quick to feel like the artists are like hating on them, and it's like no, they not. They've been here. They've been.
Just
doing
turn your
it.
phone off.
That's my phone.
No, go back to it and then turn it down. But no, that's so true. That's so true. And the climate is Vegas is probably unlike a lot of places. And being a native that's born and raised here, I didn't even realize that until I started traveling outside of Vegas. So that's real.
Yeah, and I mean, I definitely get it. But if you're in it for growth, then go grow.
Yeah. No, I totally
go grow. I understand. Like the thing is that like
soul grow.
Honestly, when it comes
to like I don't all the way enjoy inviting other artists to my and I'll tell you why. Because those other artists they want something in return from you.
You think?
I've experienced it. If hey yo, I'm gonna come out to your show,
and you gonna come out to mine.
At the end of it, you know what I'm saying? You getting text messages, a call, blah 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 blah. Be like, yo, man, I had the show and it was messed up. You couldn't come or whatever the case is.
It's I don't.
And so the thing is that I don't. I'm not selling to you. I'm not selling to you. If you're a fan of my brand, then that's dope. And you coming out to support, then that's what it is. That's what I want. But at the end of the day, if you're doing it so I can do something for you, then we doing it for the wrong reason.
That's
because
good.
when if I come to your event, I'm not coming because you came to mine.
That's any relationship.
I'm coming because I like
what you do.
I come because I like what you have. I like your presentation. I dug the song. I support Brit because I like her music.
Oh, he like my music.
I don't like
two
her.
Compliments tonight.
I don't like her, but I don't have to deal with her.
We can't give you too much.
Right,
Can't give you too much.
Yeah, I'd give those compliments. I don't. This is say I don't like her, but I deal with the music, right? And I do like you. You good? You good with me, Brett? But but the point is trying to be made. Like people who listening to all these stars, which all of these artists feel like, okay, I want to be this star.
Right.
They not listening to these artists or these stars because Kevin Hart done called their house. Or Brad Pitt done came to see they special movie. You feeling it because you like their product
and
or
you
their
don't
brand,
expect them to
or
come
their
to your baby
movement,
shower
or whatever the case is. If you want people to come out to your movement because they like you or they actually care about black girls and being inspired. You want people to come out to talk about racism because you bake them a pie, or you want them to come out because they actually care about the movement. You want people who are authentic to what you are offering.
And I like
and we get so caught up in
the wrong
my
things.
homies ain't there.
I like the perspectives that were brought, even coming like Jess brought a few perspectives from the promoter side, from this side, from that side, people that are coming out of side of the city. I like the perspective that you brought too, James, about if we're speaking mostly about music, but this question,
but not just music.
I know, but for example, if your business is business and you need clientele to sell these houses.
So then
it ain't about whether or not you can buy the house with or without the realtor.
True.
It's that if you're telling me we only send people to you, your service is amazing, we have nothing but great reviews, we'll go online and put the reviews.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, so-and-so using a different realtor. Like I'm confused.
I get you, but so here's the thing. One that can't hold you back.
Of course.
And not talking about you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that can't hold you
Just
back. If
keep
somebody
pushing.
chooses to go to, if you got a pie store and some pie store across the street, the fact that somebody went to that pie store can't not hold you back.
Of course.
And then two, it is our job as the business or as the artist or as the brand to get out there and try to figure out what all of these other businesses, brands did. So therefore they got glory. Because
it was merely the right person referred at the time. And at the end of the day,
it's just
of course,
one of those things.
I think what would be consistent between all businesses and all artists is always seek to grow and do better.
Yep,
always find out how you can do better. Again, I'm the first to admit I'm not the best at what I do.
Definitely,
even if you did nothing wrong.
But I think the problem, and we can get into the word of the week next too, and y'all can educate us on this. But the problem is presumptiveness. If so-and-so's not here, it's because of this. It's because of that. It's because
get out your feelings.
Forget the fact that their sister's having a baby. Forget that fact. Forget the fact that they're going through a marital issue or whatever. All you know,
or they just tired,
or they're exhausted.
Right. Or they ain't got that $10.
And
that
that's why I say you can support people in different ways. And anybody that connects with me knows that I don't have an issue with people. I will send you a good word. I'll just message you and say, hey, I'm thinking about you or whatever in a heartbeat. Just because I'm not there at those events doesn't mean I'm not. It's because, there's an issue.
We just got to stop being so soft about what we do. I
And
mean, I understand we're
presumptive.
artists and we're sensitive, but
About
at
our
the same
stuff.
time, we got to just get out there, do your art. If it's a market for it,
Let's do it.
It'll build.
Yeah.
But stop wanting me to come to your event if I done went to somebody else's event yesterday and I got family, I got kids, so on and so forth. I get it, and I will be there if I want to.
And not just
can.
artists need to start realizing that a bartering system is a form of doing business, and we do it
That's
all
true.
day, and we forget that.
Right.
Because
true.
if somebody come get on your mic at your show for free,
Mhm.
they are providing you a service, and then they turn around and ask
Yes.
you to do something, and then you want them to pay,
Ooh.
or that is support. Me coming to your show or me getting on your mic, that's me supporting you.
Right.
But I just want to say that because we
That
need
was
to
No, and
that kind of brings me to the
bartering is
next
a
point.
form
It's
of
just like,
business.
okay, like Justin Timberlake, he just did the Super Bowl, right?
Mm.
And
yeah.
I read an
He did
article the
a
other
good-
day
he did a
that
good job. I heard.
I read an article the other day that he didn't get paid for that.
that nobody performs for the Super Bowl and gets paid.
That bartering.
They get
barter
paid,
for
but they
service.
don't get paid.
The point that I'm trying to make is
Go
that
ahead.
it was a look for him to come and do that.
Right.
And was he
It
putting his hands out
benefited
where he
him.
was like,
No.
because you're not gonna support
Right.
me financially, I'm not gonna do your Super Bowl?
No.
No, there's always something into it,
That's
at least
why
to that point.
with the women's march,
Let
I
me-
didn't get paid to perform at the women's march.
But you
that
wanted
was
to do
I
that.
did it, and that was probably the biggest crowd.
It was a
that
benefit.
I was performing in front of.
Yeah,
Right.
but I think so. To add clarity, to add a little bit more to the Super Bowl situation, is they do pay for the production, which is
Right.
sometimes thousands and thousands of
Right.
dollars. They do, but it is a benefit. And at
Brittany,
the end
you
of
are
the,
so funny.
and at the end of the
You're so funny.
you love
But go
me.
ahead.
You love me though.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but
You like go.
anyway, but that is true, and I think just and we don't even have to get super deep into it, but the fact that as artists we do need to keep in mind, and promoters, that bartering is a possibility. The
Yeah.
point James was making about is when you don't know you bartering, like, hey, I'm coming to your show. Oh, okay. And then the next day, you didn't come to my show.
Right.
I didn't know
Well,
this was a
no,
barter
yeah, that's true.
situation.
Right.
Whereas this is a part of the agreement.
Which
Look,
brings you back
can-
to presumptuous. Don't
Yes,
be presumptuous
right.
about the things that
Exactly.
people
Like, I'm dope.
I get
You're
it.
supposed to come
Yeah.
to my show. You're not
Presumption.
dope. I don't need to come to your show, right?
No, it's not just that. Sometimes people can't make it. I don't
'Cause
want
that's the
people
kind
to
of way of
assume
thinking,
that if you don't go, that they're,
I
But
get it.
when you're negotiating things and you're a promoter and you can't pay artists, there's HD cameras, HD media. Why can't
Yep.
you provide them footage?
Put me on the
Give them a
flyer.
food. Give them some food.
Right.
There are ways that we can do it. But yeah, I
All
feel
right.
like we
Give
do
them
it.
some
So
food.
just bring it back to the Super Bowl. Did you guys watch Did you guys watch the game?
I watched the halftime show.
You watched the halftime show. How did Justin do for you?
Honestly, I didn't think it was bad.
Okay.
I think
That sounds good.
I did not. I know, right? Let's start euphemistic.
I didn't think it was bad.
I think it was pretty good. I agree with some people that feel like they were underwhelmed, but I do know that there was some controversy, which I thought it was cool for him to sing Prince. He did a good job on that. I heard there was controversy about that because him and Prince were not on the best terms
I did hear that. I did hear that.
when he passed. So I
Who
mean,
cares?
it was like he tried to give a tribute. You know what I mean? It's
I get it,
Prince's
but-
hometown.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
All right, so would it have been better?
But just stick with how you thought Justin did.
I think it wasn't bad. I think
Right.
he
So
was pretty
Justin,
good.
how did you think Justin did?
He did solid. I mean, it wasn't nothing great though. It wasn't nothing spectacular, but he did solid. I expected.
He
that
did.
from
I kind of
Justin.
enjoyed it.
He
I
did
know,
better
I'm saying
than I would have
expected-
did,
I
probably.
expected that from Justin.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
I
expected
think
that
he
from
did a good
Justin,
job.
but I expected to see some bye 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 bye. You know what I'm saying? Some
You want
Okay.
some instinct? You
Some-
want some instinct?
So
You know what I'm
moving,
saying?
so
I wanted a
moving
little bit
forward
of
to
that.
at least that part of the conversation.
bye.
Are you
bye.
upset that he didn't bring anybody out?
Because he was one of the
I just felt like it could have been a more explosive show if he would have
Brought somebody else?
Yeah, like segued into his group some type
Gotcha.
of way.
Right.
It would have been dope. I mean,
So
this
you
is
want
group
an instinct?
in
That's
general.
really what it was.
I wanted a mixture of both. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? I'm
but-
more of a JT fan than
So
NSYNC.
if he did NSYNC on the MTV Awards a couple years ago, do you want to see the same show again, or do you want him to do something else?
I'm
he
saying
has a new project out.
he could have hit Gone and then came out with the Prince tribute. You know what I'm saying? Because he's gone now. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's something I would have did. You know what I'm saying?
So in that
that's a
order,
bar.
or
Yeah,
okay,
that's what
what
I'm
did you think, Jess? Did you see the halftime?
I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
watch it.
Do you like JT?
He
bringing sex.
You like that white chocolate
I
girl?
haven't heard him.
You like that white chocolate
You
girl?
know, I like no white chocolate. I like dark.
She's a
Magic Mike.
she's a dark chocolate. I
She
love
likes
being
dark
black.
chocolate?
Okay, over here. So now to bring it to the point of the Prince thing, right? So yeah, I did hear that Prince had an issue with Justin Timberlake.
Prince was passed. Oh, sorry.
I think we,
Prince
Stick with
did
me here,
not
Britt.
have an issue.
Stick
Anyway,
with me
let me
here.
get some water.
So
I think we know that.
because when Justin came out with the sexy back whole thing, right? And Prince was kind of like, well, sexy ain't never left. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been here doing this thing. He did have like a little bit of Prince sound on that album, and that was
Yeah,
a little bit of beef and so on and so forth. There's a couple things that happened at award shows, yada yada yada. So for Justin to be in Prince's hometown, where the football game was being held, and to bring or to do a tribute, people felt a little bit funny about that. He was like, yo, how you gonna shout me
Like
out, but
Biggie
you don't really
going
mess.
to Cali
All
saying
right.
I'm coming back to Cali.
Hey,
Yeah.
yo.
But
I was
it's
just
very
about to
similar.
say that.
Yeah.
It's
I was
very
just about to
similar
say
to that.
So look, so was JT supposed to get up there? So at this moment, I was gonna do a Prince tribute, but we ain't cool, so I'm not gonna do that.
But
No,
they,
no, no, no.
but
What
they
you supposed to
also
do?
said, but they also said that Prince had an issue he thought it was creepy or something about people doing performances with artists after they have passed.
So
like
that's another
Prince
thing.
had an issue with
Oh.
that. He didn't want a hologram, but he also didn't want what JT
Mm.
did. So you got a problem with him.
With that.
Now you capitalizing off of my death.
So I didn't know that. I know that Prince was very anti-media. Like he was the what's his name? Marshawn Lynch of certain types of media. He wasn't feeling it. I knew that.
Thus-
but Prince is an icon. I don't know. That's tough.
Thus brings the question: if Prince did in fact say that,
he did,
then
JT,
it's a fact. Then maybe JT did that to antagonize Prince.
I don't think he.
He's
I
probably
don't
rolling
want to
over in his
believe
grave
that.
right now.
Maybe I don't.
He's
Maybe
like,
I
"Oh,
don't.
you didn't want this, huh,
So
Prince?"
Maybe I don't want to believe that, and maybe that's
I
what
mean,
it is.
if
But
Prince
I
said
think Prince is gone. So I mean,
So,
and we can
but
celebrate him.
At the same time, Prince left his wishes with certain people.
Yeah.
Sheila E., who was once his wife and
Right.
his very good friend and very like partner in business. He told her before he left, because this whole hologram and tribute thing was coming.
Tupac, shocker.
Right. So that by him doing that, he was like, look, when I go, don't let nobody do no performance with me as no hologram. When Prince passed away, his wish was to take his music off of social media because he didn't want people gaining off of his death. And so the fact, like Jess
And he
brought
didn't
up,
have a will, I heard.
he had things in place, plans in place, but stay on track. So he didn't he wouldn't have, at least by his words or what his wishes were, he wouldn't have preferred even the cloth, because somebody said it was the hugest king size sheet ever that they projected him on. He wouldn't have preferred having that happen because it was just like, okay, well now you're capitalizing off of my
Well,
death.
clearly he
And
wasn't the only one involved in that decision. He had to get permission from someone.
this is true. And
somebody else who was capitalizing off of his death.
And I mean,
that's like your worst enemy taking your dead body on stage and using you.
Prince was different. The artist formerly known as Prince.
He was Prince back at the end of his death. But I get it, and I think the JT show portion of it was good. I understand, like, Prince's wishes and him not wanting to actually be exploited in his death, because he saw what happened to Mike.
Yeah,
He saw that they got shows and saw all these different things happening, and Mike is not here to witness it, and he's not here to give his opinion of what he thought about it. And Prince wasn't like that. Even when he was at award shows before he got the Lifetime Achievement Award, I think it was at the BET Award or something like that, he had a problem with the tribute they was doing up there. Like, let me sing my songs. These are my songs. This is my art. Prince was funky about the way he is, but
and you know
shout out
what?
to him.
We still love them for it. Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. I think that a lot of people, because they feel really attached to Prince or Michael or icons like that, they still like to revisit those moments. So I don't know. I don't know.
But
it's controversial.
it might be one of those, like, just let it go, man.
But you know what? That's a trend then.
What?
Because JT and Janet had the little controversy with the little uniform.
Right, and people had a
now
problem
we
with that.
got controversy with the Prince. JT is out for controversy.
Hey, JT.
Yes.
I don't know. I just think he just want to do his music. And
I think
have you
he's
guys
out
heard
for
his new album yet?
No, not yet.
Are we gonna check it out? Let's review it at sometime. Like
Yeah, that's
whatever.
it. And I got the word of the week. Do we want to talk about it?
Yeah, let's do the word of the week. We're gonna get to the point.
Oh, we got a call?
Right after this caller, we're gonna do the word of the week, okay?
All right.
What's up?
Caller can jump in.
What's up, caller? How you doing and where you calling from?
What's going on, man? It's LJ.
Hey.
What's going on, brother?
How you doing, bruh?
I'm doing all right, man. How about you guys, man?
I'm well. What's your perspective tonight, my man?
So first off, man, I just want to say shout out to Jess for doing her thing, man.
Yes.
We really appreciate stuff like that, man. You know what I'm saying? And Brittany, you've been doing your thing, you know what I mean? And Tiangelo, love you too, man. So
Hey, man,
listen, I want to just take this
Thank
back for just a minute to something that I felt, because I don't think people really looked at this like this. So, because we was just talking about the Super Bowl and everything, and I made a comment towards something about the riots that happened afterwards, right? So they called the people at these riots overzealous, right? So, but having seen what happened in Ferguson, they called these people thugs and bad people for protesting basic human rights. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I want you guys to share your perspective on that. What do you guys think about that perspective, right? Because they were turning cars over, they were breaking things, they were breaking windows, cars were on fire. The police were basically matching their intensity and everything in the streets
not saying anything, you know what I mean, and putting out these nice little tweets like, oh, you know, this stuff is still going on, but could you please go back home, go back to your homes now? You know, they didn't do that with Ferguson, with people just protesting, then like, hey, you know what, we tired of getting, you know, killed in these streets. You know, why are we being treated like this? It's not fair that we're being treated this way.
That's deep.
All right, bro. We definitely gonna hit that up real quick. All right, man. I appreciate your call.
Right on.
Thanks for perspective.
That's what's up.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Okay. So, what's your thoughts about that? Do you think this is the double standard of how you celebrate or even how you riot? Go for it.
It sounds like it sounds very similar to it's something I heard. I don't know how factual it is, but Tom Brady being called what was he being called? If you
so
know?
he was called. I heard the article. It said Tom Brady's a fierce competitor and he doesn't like to lose.
Right.
But
Cam
when
Newton.
Cam Newton did it, he was a baby, or you know, he was a sore loser, and so on and so forth.
When he didn't shake the other teams.
Yeah, by leaving the field with without shaking the opponent's hand.
And on a lower level, on a lower scale, it sounds like the same thing when it comes to these riots.
Yeah, Cam Newton wasn't in the Super Bowl also when that happened.
It's the same thing when it comes to black people. Period.
Yeah,
like everything.
It's biased.
Cam Newton was in the Super Bowl.
No, it wasn't. It was a playoff game before.
Oh, okay. But
that's when he got put out before to make the Super Bowl. But
right.
I understand the point of like, so let's not put false equivalents to it. Shout out to my boy LJ, he's a friend of the show, but I feel like it's a false equivalent. Ferguson was about the death of a young black boy, and the non-acquittal or the non-acquittal of a police officer. So that's an angry community coming and banding together for the injustice of something.
Right.
These people in Philly were celebrating.
That's great.
That now
and still doing damage.
And but so we can call it celebrating, but it's they're celebrating their team winning something, and in their idiocy, in their idiocy, they are
you better use that word.
Ruining their community.
Let me go set something on fire.
Right, you know what I'm saying? What? But we can't act like this hasn't happened in the past.
Right.
I remember when the Los Angeles Lakers won a championship, they got out of LA and tore downtown to pieces, breaking windows, so on and so forth. So really, people just don't know what to do with good stuff. They don't know how to handle a good thing. Now, how the media presents it all to these people or presents these folk, calling maybe a predominantly black crowd thugs and saying that these people are just really ambitious and, really, zealous about their team winning.
You just can't hold it back.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, they just can't contain themselves. They're just so,
okay.
At the end of the day, it's property damage, right?
Same results. When you look down the street, it's the same results.
So did people get arrested?
I'm pretty sure people did. I mean, like, I remember they were at the Ritz-Carlton, and they were jumping on the Ritz-Carlton's awning, and they broke that down. They were flipping cars over, burning stuff, burning different things. And it's the same thing that happens all the way. It's an unprofessional way of celebrating.
Right.
But I think his question was more geared towards the media how they project it. And we already know that that's what they do. That's what they do. They're going to call what they think is the right keyword for this demographic of people and this demographic of people. I don't think it was out of the line that they actually celebrated the way they did, because I've seen it happen in a lot of different ways.
It was just the media.
When the not the Indians, but the Cubs. When the Cubs won, they went crazy. They went crazy in the streets.
100 years?
Yeah, it was a long time.
It's crazy.
So it's just people just don't know how to celebrate.
Right.
But I don't have a really good perspective on why they do what they do, but we kind of know it's just racism. It's just it's just what it is. If you think that
you talking about the media,
yeah, if the media thinks the group is predominantly a certain color that feeds their narrative, they're gonna call it exactly what they continually always call it.
But why do you flip a car?
I don't even get it. Like, why park? I'm not even gonna park anywhere near the thing because now I'm look. Hey, Geico. So yeah, Eagles won. Go Eagles. But I'm gonna need that $500 deductible.
Yeah,
broke it down to $250.
So,
need a new car.
And speaking of that too, just speaking of the narrative, before we do get into the word of the week too, there's something I shared. Shut your face. Y'all love me.
You're so funny, dude.
Y'all love me, though. It's called #Black Men Smiling.
Uh-huh.
And it's actually, it got some publicity on one of the news networks.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically a movement that shows black men smiling to defy stereotypes, basically in the media. As we know, black men smile.
Hold on, here
but,
we go.
we're talking, but real talk though, and hashtag Black men smiling, because what we see as a pretty consistent trend in America is that when you do see an African American male on news, even if they're the victim, quite often they will show a mug or like what looks like a mugshot, even for the person that was a victim.
Right.
And you know, our culture is not painted very well when it comes to a lot
Mike
of media.
Brown, they would choose a photo of him being in a regular tee or whatever the case, and instead of his graduation picture.
Not even, and I mean, to go even deeper than that, there was someone who was a victim, but they've tried to find a picture to make him look like he was the villain.
It's a reason why he was a victim.
And it's wrong. They made it look like
right, but we get it wrong, but we can keep calling it racism. It's just racism.
Yes, but the movement that I'm speaking of that I thought was really cool and needs to get more clout is just really showing, just changing the narrative. Just
shout out to the Black Men Smile
hashtag
movement.
Black Men Smiling.
Yeah. And I think the company is the movement is the hashtag is Black Man Smiling, but the movement is the Black Man Smile, and is Black Man Smile. And shout out to them, man, to like definitely changing the narrative so we can get this image of who Black men are, and that we have joy, and that we have, you know what I'm saying, there's peace, there's knowledge, there's power, all of that is in us. Especially is a great thing for just Black History Month, but all year around. And you know what I'm saying, just kind of pushing that forward. But Britt, before we get out of here, do you want to teach the people some stuff?
Yes.
Why, hold on. Why did you say that? We have to teach the people.
I know,
some
but
stuff.
she thinks she's the one teaching, so we'll just give her that.
We gotta let her.
Yeah.
She's a woman, so she has to think that she's right all the time.
They come for me so hard.
Oh, you ain't gonna say nothing, Jess?
I'm not gonna let you bait me.
At least you can recognize this bait.
They go.
I mean, just let it flow.
So let's get just let it flow.
Let it. Oh wait, before we get, do you want to go into the word of the week now, or do we want Jess Flo to spit?
I want you to do this word of the week.
Why? Because you just love it. Okay.
Yep.
And then I want Jess to spit. Jess, you down to spit?
No, we want you to loogie. You feel me?
Anyway,
all right, let's get it.
You know
Bars.
what? All right, guys, let's go. Because James
okay,
loves
well,
the
check
word
this
of the
out.
week.
Though. First of all, you're throwing too many big words at me. Okay, now because I don't understand them, I'm gonna take them as disrespect. Watch your mouth.
What is the meaning of this?
Education means you will learn to speak in a new language.
You're gonna learn today.
You will be taught to achieve insight into the world around you.
The word this week is...
The word this week is cajole. And it's a verb.
Cajole?
Cajole. I know that sounds like...
The gelatin cajole.
Wait, what?
You gonna give it a go?
Yeah,
you ain't got
Jess
to if you don't
is
want to,
ready.
but
Y'all
if you
playing
ready,
games.
Go ahead, let's get it.
Teach us what it means,
What that
girl.
mean?
I don't know. I feel like I heard it. Like,
and what is it?
It cajoled. It did something. I don't know. Like, it got something to do. Am I along the right lines?
Say it again. Say it again.
Something,
like the
or use it in a
gelatin.
sentence.
I don't know.
Just make some.
You got something
That's what they do.
I got a little something. You want to go?
No, it's on you.
All right. So
wait, you cut her off.
No, go.
No,
Because
go ahead, Jess.
I
Go
said
ahead,
something
Jess.
about the gelatin became cajoled. Cajoled.
There it is.
Like that.
There it is.
Look at you.
See, she out here teaching people.
Wrong.
Watch out.
Look. Cajole is in the Bible.
Oh my.
No. No.
Go for it. Yeah,
actually, that's not where I want to start. So it's actually cavemen. Okay, it's a caveman thing. Okay, so it's the first Crip caveman.
Crip?
Oh my God.
Yeah. But listen, y'all gotta listen.
Oh,
what I say. So it was the first Crip caveman, and he was like they was digging for treasure. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all know about that. They was digging for treasure and stuff, and then he found something. He found something real sparkly. He was like, jewel. So he was like, you know what I'm saying? Crips say cuz.
So he found some jewels, cuz.
Jewel. Yeah.
Oh.
Jewels, cuz.
Your
Jewel.
mind
You
so-
get me? You feel me?
James, can you
feel
correct
me,
the
cuz?
situation?
No,
You feel
look,
me,
I
cuz?
actually like that. I like that.
Yeah, you
because I
already-
feel like
I
that
do
was
like-
right. I have
yeah.
another one for it, but
Yeah.
so cajole. Okay, so you know when people go to jail, right?
There's no end.
So when people go to jail,
Cajole.
so and they have someone who is outside that loves them very much. So they have these visits called conjugals. Okay? And
y'all don't know nothing about that.
And because you said it's a verb, what they do at a conjugal convent is they cajole each other. You know what I'm saying?
Convent.
A conjugal situation. When that's happening, what they're doing with each other is cajoling.
So what you saying is
Yeah.
He getting them jewels.
He getting the jewels.
And he trying to make her cripple.
Cuz
jewels.
you got it. But
All right.
Brittany, if you want to tell the people what you think it means.
Can I tell the people what TT Google says?
Please do.
I guess.
First of all, there's no N.
What?
Cajole.
No, I get it, but I said this is the act of conjugal.
To persuade.
Yeah.
Someone to do something.
It.
By sustained coaxing or flattery. I'm gonna repeat
What's
that.
more flattering than
Then a
jewels?
jewel.
And what's more flattering than
jewels?
flattering?
To persuade
He
some.
enjoy to get the jewel.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
what
To
You
persuade
gotta give the jewels
someone.
to get the flatter.
you got to persuade the warden to let you have somebody come in.
Basically, you just say it's game. Basically,
Spin game. And we're gonna have
Oh
we're gonna have Jess Flo spit game is spit in a minute. But to persuade someone to do something by sustained coaxing or flattery. So he hoped to cajole her into selling the house. Look at this.
Selling that.
Shameless
The
drop.
jewels.
If you are looking for a house in Las Vegas or Nevada,
Yeah.
please call Brittany Sharp
Britt,
Realty.
this is what I'm gonna need you to do. I'm gonna need you to stop trying to like veer it away from the fact that we are teaching these people something.
Because you clearly are.
And we're giving them so much knowledge.
So everybody gets a point for participation and give it up for everybody.
participation for teaching.
Well, it has something to do with food.
Shut up.
I'm hungry.
So before
hey,
we,
LJ, we hungry.
Yeah, we all hungry out here.
Go ahead.
But before we get out of here, Jess, we did mention that you are a spoken word artist.
Yes.
And that you do poetry and you have something. Do you have something that you would like to share with the people
Yes,
today?
honey.
What type of poetry y'all want?
We
Black
want something that can
history.
last on this station.
Love. Wait, let's see what we could do. Could we do something about love?
About love. Brittany, that ain't my
Brittany
thing.
didn't let you know before this.
Yeah, that's Brittany thing.
All right, so do you have
I'm
something?
not talking about love
Hold on,
because I
let me
stay
go sway
talking
on
about
her.
love, huh?
You come up here, you got to be ready.
But look, hold on.
No, she's ready.
I don't be
I'm
writing
messing-
about love like that.
So do you have something an activist, activism?
Right.
Do you have something whatever is on your heart?
Yeah.
It's your platform. Go for it.
Whatever you like,
Try not to cuss.
honey.
Yeah.
Whatever you like.
Oh, okay. Brittany talked about my Chicago piece.
There it is.
There we go. You got the floor. Everybody, y'all give it up for Jess Flo.
Hot breath. There we go.
Oh, snaps.
He said, I'd rather be dead, a little 13-year-old kid. He said, my daddy's gone and my mama don't care. Every night I'm watching her shed a tear for another man that done ripped her insides out and now he not here, so I'd rather be dead. He said, America done already killed me. Land of the free and home of the brave, but how can I be free when I was born in the grave? They say, land of the free and home of the brave, but how can I be free when y'all done already dug my grave? So I'm better off dead. He said sometimes instead of black, I wish I would have been born red because it's a target on me. Shopping spree. They killing kids that look like me, so I'm better off dead. He said I was born in a city that's in a state of depression where I opened my books, but every corner I took is what taught me my lesson. Sometimes I wonder if this life is even a blessing. Everybody rolling around talking about they ride solo, but where I come from, it took a crew to survive. Growing up, all I seen was the want for life in my friend's eyes. He come from them streets where my heart lies. He come from them blocks where only killers survive. Standing on the porch, watching people get popped at for entertainment. He come from them blocks of Chirac, so his thought process, I couldn't blame it. The only thing I could do was think in my heart was, how can I change it? He said, I'm better off dead. It's better than being my better than seeing my baby sister get breastfed. Rock is better than seeing my mama stand out on the track. I sometimes sit in the corner just to know what it feels like for someone to have my back. Never have an experience of what childhood bring. Wondering why I'm here. Wondering why I'm black. Wondering when will my baby sister get to see happiness and never have to shed a tear, because this is not living. This is just being here. Standing in negative gravity, waiting for God to take a hold of me. He said these people are looking in my mouth like these words are spitting are bold to me. Maybe they'll take me more serious if I'm laying on a slab and I'm a cold to me. And I thought to myself, yes, these people think this is just entertainment, but he come from them blocks of Chirac, so his thought process, I couldn't blame it. The only thing I could do was wonder in my heart was, how can I change it? He said, I'm better off dead. Thank you.
Deep.
Yeah. Y'all give it up out there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Put some
Respect
some
on
thumbs
her
up.
name. Oh.
Put some thumbs up in the chat. All of that. Y'all give it up for Jess.
Yes, one more time. Yeah, definitely.
Powerful,
I love
powerful,
it.
sis.
Jess, where can we find you the next couple weeks? Where will you be? Because you can't be everywhere, right? We talked about that.
Well, I sort of kind of.
Yay! Go ahead.
So, this Saturday, like I said, we have the Sexpo for anybody who is interested.
Who is a freak?
You don't have to be a freak
to talk about it.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be educational too, right?
The whole thing is education.
Exactly.
I just can't talk about what type of education.
I'm gonna go there and learn.
Then. Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and go learn or something
but
like
it
that.
will be some melodic poetry.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's
going on. And Brittany, I think me and you both will be performing at the Springs Preserve.
Yes, honey.
On the 17th.
Yes.
On the 17th.
Yes. I'm double booked that day.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot of love on the. You're getting a lot of love on the live too.
Yeah. Hey now, but yeah. So that is a Black History program that's thrown predominantly by the Water District.
It's the word.
Yes, but it's a combination of a lot of different community agents that come together. But yeah, we'll be performing at the Springs Preserve that day. What about you, Tiangela? You have something going on Saturday too, don't you?
Wait, well, before we do that, Jess, can you give your social media?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And the time for the expo and everything.
Yeah, what time?
Oh, the expo this Saturday. It starts at 12. It's at Digera Entertainment.
Okay.
I think it's 4350.
12 p.m. or 12 a.m.
12
Corporate Center Drive.
Corporate Center Drive.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll also be performing that day over at the 100 Academy. There'll be a showing of is it 1800 is the name of the movie, the Haitian Revolution.
Right. Wow.
And
okay.
the guy who made what is it? Color. What is the name?
For Color Girl? No.
Hidden Colors.
Hidden Colors.
He'll be here.
Really?
Yes. And Professor James Small. If
really?
you are familiar with him.
Okay.
So, and I'll be performing over there too. But
and that's Saturday. That's
this Saturday the 10th as well.
What time do you?
They both start at 12.
So you're gonna be everywhere.
Right. And so
you got a twin?
No.
Twin.
Somehow it seems like I do.
So,
but if you don't show up to something, people, it's because she can't.
Right.
Sheesh.
So get the people your social media.
You can find me on Facebook, Jess Flo, JessFlo, no W. My Instagram is at Black Girls Inspire or lvurbansoul.com, and that's also my website if you want to just see different things going on in the community,
and
different Black-owned businesses. And you
Yeah.
can send stuff to me to share on the website. It's lvurbansoul.com.
And we'll have all
That's
our
dope.
information
That's
on
dope.
the Our Perspective
Absolutely.
Facebook page, on the IG page. We'll definitely be like out here supporting you, sis. If you need us, want to come back in and talk to us about some other stuff you got going on, please don't be a stranger.
And call in too.
All of the above, man. All of the above.
Yes,
Britt, what's going on with you?
My list is longer than his though. Tiangelo.
I know if you could actually give the information about rhymes.
That's what. Yeah, that's what's
on Saturday.
I was
because
trying to buy
my phone
time
just died.
so I could think.
No, it's fine. It's fine. 'Cause my phone just died. I'm just being honest.
So
with
yes,
people.
as a
So I
matter
don't
of
have the
fact,
address or
this Saturday we also have an event called Rhymes that Tiangelo will be performing at
Shout
as
out to
well.
Carice.
I'm the
Yeah.
host for this event. It's called Spoken Word with a Twist, and what it is they take spoken word. They take artists that are not poets, and they challenge.
They're not talking
them.
about me.
They challenge them. It's actually not your typical poetry show. So it's pretty cool. Hopefully we can get people to come out for that one as well. But Friday I will be at Cork.
I'm gonna be there.
Hey, y'all better come out.
I'll be at Cork and Thorn on Friday, getting
Yes.
down with the tunes.
Nice.
I love Cork and Thorn. Shout out to Cork and Thorn, man.
Thorn's
That's a
dope.
beautiful
Yeah.
establishment.
I gotta check it
And
out.
of course, what one of the things that I'm also excited about that's coming up is on Valentine's Day. I got a wedding I'm performing.
Hey, shout out to the lovely couple.
And
I
I'm
don't want
a
to put their name out
bridesmaid.
there.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it
I
out
want to
there.
put their name
it's
out there.
I'm playing.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you told me.
Anyway, Ronald McDonald. So, but yeah, so there's quite a few things happening. On the 13th is the city of Las Vegas has their annual Black History program as well. So there's like quite a bit going on in February. And you know what?
You know,
As
we gotta make
should.
up a good like flyer or pamphlet or something like that with all of these dates
Her
that
site-
are going on it.
Yeah, but
And just be able to put it on our page. So
one
people
of
know.
one of the
Definitely.
things that Jess Flo's site has is a lot of events as well too. So on it, but I mean, there's loads going on. There's a
Yeah.
lot going on in February. So hopefully we keep that up. James Mays, Fence Music. What are you doing this week?
I'm just trying to, live, stay black and all of that. But a couple of opportunities came across my desk. I like stuff
Your
come
desk.
across my thing.
Okay, now.
you got
But
a
at the
little
same
workspace,
time,
okay.
I'm gonna be supporting my brother
Hey man,
this Saturday.
please do,
Oh,
man.
because your sister ain't gonna be there.
But yeah, I'm supporting him first.
Yeah, because I haven't performed in a long time.
Jesus.
James, why don't you get on the mic?
Brittany want everything.
I don't want everything.
She want everything.
Y'all just be coming for me. They come for me so hard.
Okay, Brittany got
You thought you were gonna comment on
17,000 shows.
I gotta put
And
a helmet on.
my boy get his first show of the year. I'm out here supporting Tiangelo, and you think I'm not gonna give you a hug when I'm there? I'm not even gonna hug you. You're too
mad at
expensive.
you.
So shout out to Tiangelo.
Hey, man,
Tiangelo, get people information about your show.
Definitely.
He don't
It's spoken word with a twist. I'm definitely gonna be the twist.
He
I'm
gonna get
gonna be up
twisted.
there doing this. You know what I'm saying?
He's not gonna share poetry, just so you know.
No, but my music is poetry if you just listen to it the right way.
So
You know what I'm saying?
ridiculous.
Well, the left way, kind of.
So
but
ridiculous.
it's gonna be there. What 8:30?
Yeah.
Doris.
And Classic Jewel. It's gonna be a turned out event, and I'm not the only one performing. It's gonna be a lot of great performers there.
Yes.
Like Brittany has said, she's the host. She's a great host. So it's gonna be a great show, man. It's gonna be a great show.
And that's at 353 Bonneville.
Yes.
In downtown Las Vegas.
There you go.
Bonneville. How can we reach you on social media?
You guys all know that I'm sponsored by Instagram.
Truly.
T'Angelo_1. Sponsored by Facebook as well. That just happened like 5 years ago. It's
you signed up.
Yeah.
All it cost was your email.
Yeah, right. T'Angelo the Angel. You know what I'm saying? I have a different sponsorship than you all. So
clearly,
I mean, this is a special thing.
How can we be saved?
And Britt, where can people find you?
BrittanySoul.com, www.brittanysoul.com. Amen.
All the
You
W's.
still use the W's, huh?
Three W's.
And once again, you can find Jess Flo on Facebook at Jess Flo with no W.
Yeah. And no just. It's Jess.
Jess.
It's Jess.
Jess Flo. And then also at
Black Girls Inspired
on Instagram.
And LVUrbanSoul.com.
And definitely you can find me at JM Fence Music all across the board.
I thought we could find you in the club.
And can I?
I feel like bragging when you say
for all the brothers on Friday, if you can make it out to the barbershop talk.
Okay.
If you go into the I Love Being Black and you can see at the barbershop talk at Twix's Barbershop, make it out. It'll be a great event.
Can you give us that information and we'll put it up on our page?
Okay.
Definitely.
I do need a cut.
You're not getting your hair cut.
They can talk about it.
Hey, Twix.
They can talk about it.
But yo, man, we definitely appreciate you for coming through, Jess, for you spitting your
Thank
knowledge,
you.
for you giving us all your resources, and then also just doing that poem at the end, the Chirac joint was amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm definitely about to go massage my girl foot tonight because you came in with that woman inspirational thing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she needs
I don't remember her talking about feeding the poem.
First of all.
But we thank you guys for listening. Like I said, we're here every week on Guerilla Cross Radio.
Except next week, right?
Oh, that's right. We
He
will
be
not
lying.
be here. We will not be here next week
On
because we out here
Valentine's Day.
we're trying to do this love thing. And I'm gonna get in trouble if I had to bring my wife into the studio so we could just talk about randomness for a whole 2 hours. But we will be back on the other side of next week on the following Wednesday. But you guys keep up with what we have going on. You can follow us at the Our Perspective Podcast on
Facebook.
IG, on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter at @OurPerspective_. We're out here, man. We out here trying to do some stuff for you. So if you have some stuff you want to talk about, let us know on our pages, on any of our feeds. If you want to be a part of the Serial Supporter segment, let us know. Email us at theourperspective@yahoo.
Yes.
And we will always be here for some love and support for anybody who needs it. Support, but we will vet it. We will vet it.
Yeah.
I didn't say support because we
You
don't
said
eat support. But whatever the case is, whatever the case is, we are here for you. And don't worry about it's the Our Perspective. Don't worry about it. Don't get mad at us. It's just how we see it, guys. And we going out with a song by Preach.
Hey.
Preach up.
I just feel like that's how he should say it.
Preach up.
Preach.
All right, yeah, we see y'all next week.
The Our Perspective.
Do the right thing, 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 do the right thing. If you fall down, get back up again. Do the right thing, 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 do the right thing. If you fall down, get back up again. I know a lot of people quick to speak, slow to listen. They say a lot, end up regretting what they mention. I hear them talking, but what they say don't sound like wisdom. And keep it real, what they say don't sound like Christians. I know it's hard. I'm fighting my flesh daily. I walk with Christ, so every step I take, He changed me. He paid the price, so we don't have to live in sin. Jesus is love, so He's what we should have within. I plead the blood, cause I know it work every time. I speak with love, the conviction even in my rhymes. Make a choice, which road, the wide or the narrow. Don't make excuses, just keep your eyes on the sparrow. You hear His voice, are you willing to make a change? Do you heed to the warning before the rain? Or point the finger at everybody else when the first thing you should be doing is looking at yourself, for real. Do the right thing, 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 do the right thing. If you fall down, get back up again. Do the right thing, 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 do the right thing. If you fall down, get back up again.
Do the right thing, even if it hurt, bro. God is watching from afar like a peephole. You might fall down, hey, that's okay though. Cause God is building you up just like Legos. Let's look at Joseph and look at his story real well. God was building Joseph up right in the midst of hell. Potiphar's wife cornered Joseph to give up the tail. Joseph aggressively denied he didn't want to fail. Sin against God for a little satisfaction. One selfish choice could have killed a whole nation. A whole chain of reactions, no spiritual progression. A student forever being taught, never learning a lesson.